Okay, I think I am live. Hopefully people are on here. I see my brother's here. At least he's supporting me tonight. So yeah, Jamie is on a well-earned vacation. He is he's somewhere in the middle of Oregon, I think, visiting family. And he decided to not do a live tonight, which is the first time in a very long time he has not done a live. So hopefully people are actually on here. I see a comment from my brother. Hopefully this is actually working. Because I only see one person on here right now. Okay. How many people are actually on here right now? I can't even tell. Well, hey, this is Tom from Rocket Restorations. As I said, I'm taking over for Jamie tonight. So yes. Let's see what we're going to talk about. So I just spent a week on the road. I did a video this morning on a hey Ben, hey Dan. I did a detail on a Daytona video. First week we haven't done a V Code for your GT video for a while. Obviously those have done super well. Actually at 12,000 subscribers today. I was pretty happy about that. It's amazing how much the channel has grown since I started doing that V Code Fury GT. Okay, 26 people are watching now, so I'm glad people are here. But yeah, for those who missed it, Jamie's missing the stream tonight. First time he's missed one in a very long time. And you know what, Jamie? I'm the captain of the ship now. This is my thing tonight. We'll see if he shows up. I've shown up for most of his lives, but he's also, trying to be with family, which is why he's not doing a live tonight. Yeah, so I was on vacation this week with the kids. That's why the video this morning was not a long one like I usually do, and why we didn't get any six-pack free GT stuff done this week. I took a trip with the kids on a Disney cruise. We did San Diego, Catalina Island, and Ensenada, Mexico, which was fun. Disney cruise was fun, but it was definitely for the kids. So I've done a few trips to like all-inclusive resorts before, and the only problem with Disney is they kind of nickel and dime you on everything, including drinks, which kind of sucks. I mean, not that you want to get super drunk with your kids around, but the drinks were fairly expensive. So, hey, Bill James, welcome from Oklahoma. Uh, Question: what's the typical shelf life of a can of spray paint? Say engine enamel. I don't know. I've had stuff that I've taken 20-year-old paint from a dealership and used it on an engine, and it's worked fine. Generally, what happens is the accelerant in the can goes away. And then once that happens, there's no way to really spray it. It doesn't really want to spray out. But I've used very old paint before in that. And okay. And again, this is the first time I've ever used StreamYard by myself. I've always done it with Jamie before. So bear with me here. That's all I'm saying. But that's a good question. But yeah, Disney cruise was fun. We got back Friday. I am still exhausted. We did baseball practice with my kids yesterday. We actually had our second fake spring. So Seattle has multiple fake springs. A couple weeks ago, we had a 70-degree day, and then we had two 70-degree, 65, 70-degree days in a row with sun. I got my lawn mowed yesterday, and now it's back to 55 and raining today. Supposed to get like an inch of rain over the next 2 days, which is great. So, um, hi to Rusty Robinson. Hi to Dennis Wheeler. Appreciate you guys hopping on. So I have a little bit of ego here. If nobody shows up here, it's going to be really disappointing when Jamie doesn't show up. Um, Behemoth, thanks. We put a lot of work into the channel. I mean, we've gone from 9,000 to 12,000 in like 3 weeks, which is pretty good. There's a lot of other Mopar related YouTube channels we're getting close to, and it's going to be not that it's competition, but there's certain things where you pass certain guys and it feels pretty good for your ego a little bit. Yeah, Jamie hit 60,000 this weekend. He's also doing great. He did the engine build video on the six-pack Fury GT on Wednesday. That one went pretty well. Okay, how do I do this? Okay, let me show on that one. I should probably be doing this on my. Okay. Should probably be doing this on my computer rather than that. Yep, growth has been really good. Update on the Fury motor. Basically, Jamie ran out of time. He was trying to get. I mean, I'm sure you all watched his video last week on Engine Wednesday, and um, we got the motor out. He got it apart, and I think four is stuck. So we basically been soaking it for the week I was gone. Looks like Evan and Trev worked on it this week. I haven't really had a chance to talk to him. It's still stuck, but Jamie's back on Monday, I think. So he'll be in one day this week. I'm not sure what day, probably Wednesday or Thursday this week. And we're gonna get it apart this week. So I want to get down to the machine shop and get it started. I mean, Jamie thinks the cam may be savable, which would be pretty cool to actually save the original cam. I think that would be really, really neat. So um, okay, some questions. Lawrence, what's the best placement for Ford jack stands? Say if you want to have a car off the ground for some time to work on the brakes or tires. It depends what the car is. If it's a B, A, or E body, I try to get the front frame rails, just kind of where the front door is on the front, and on the back, the rear frame rail kind of inside where the release springs are. That seems to be the safe place on that. On a C body, it's a little bit different because it's got a stub frame on the front, but you kind of get on the stub frame. If it's going to be on there for a while and it's a really nice car, I'll use one of those Costco towels to put it over it, just so it doesn't chip any paint or anything if it's going to be up there for a while. But that's my general points on a Mopar. Those are generally the easiest ones. Okay, David, question. Okay, let me see if I can. Question, not sure you or Jamie can answer this, but how difficult it would be to replace the rear taillights on a 1976 Coronet two-door with the four-door taillights? I hate the back end of the two-door. I'm pretty sure they're completely different. I don't think those interchange, so I don't think that's possible, but I'm not super familiar on those. I've had a couple cop cars of those over the years, but I don't think that that's possible. I think the back end is different on that. Okay, why is that not going away? David asks, what does Duplicolor make the SS1 code for Sunfire Yellow? Where do you find it? Unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that. I'm not really a paint and body guy. We're kind of farming that stuff out now. We have a company called Wesco around here, and generally what I do is we try to find an original paint sample. For example, like a quarter panel extension or something like that. We just did that on the Superbird that's in the shop here. I had to have a couple pieces painted. We had to get a repo grill for it. The spoiler was unpainted, the wing was unpainted. So we just had Mark, one of our local guys, paint that for us. In fact, I just got him back yesterday. So we're gonna actually be putting the Superbird back together this week, and I'll probably do another video on that next weekend because unfortunately that thing's gonna go up for sale. I have a unique business opportunity coming up that I don't really want to talk about yet, but it'd be buying a business of someone who's retiring, and I may be expanding a little bit on that end. But I love the Superbird. My plan is to get together this week. I'm going to drive it every day this week I can, and then it's probably going to get put up. I'm going to do a video on it probably on Saturday, and it's going to be put up for sale. So, which I'd love to keep that car. It's always been a dream of mine to have a wing car, but I've had it. I've been able to enjoy driving it a little bit, but it's time to move on. So, okay. But yeah, but as I was round and round and round, we one of the corner pieces for the nose, I brought that down to my paint guy. He did a paint match on that and just basically made custom paint for it. And that's pretty much what you have to do. The formulas keep on changing on that. And on that, the car has a single stage orange paint on it. So that's what we did. So it's a single stage, but it can be really hard. I mean, we've had formulas for Plum Crazy over the years, and it seems like every couple years they reformulate the paint. So it's not like there's like a formula. Like it just depends what the brand is and all that to put that together. So end of time. I'm in BC and the weather's 100% the same. Yeah, it rains a lot. Good day, Granddad's Junk. I see you comment on lending my videos. Appreciate you watching everything. Uh, my brother says the Portland swap meet was awesome. Bought a cool light up Pentastar. Yeah, it's right in the middle of my shop where you put it. Thanks. Right in the middle of everything. Yeah, I haven't missed the Portland swap meet was this weekend. I actually haven't missed that in a long time. It's kind of sad that I missed it this weekend, but we didn't get back till pretty late on Friday, so it wasn't really worth it to be able to go just on Friday. I'm really on a swap meet. I'm really the go on the setup day type of guy. For me, that's the most fun. You try to get out there and people are getting stuff out, find the deals. And lately, Portland's an all makes. It's huge. I mean, there's a 2 mile road course at Portland, and it's basically for those who aren't in the area. It's both sides the entire way around the track, plus the infield, plus like a couple chicanes. It's a huge swap meet, and then they have an expo center that's and almost half as big as that too. So I mean, it's definitely the biggest swap meet in the Northwest, and the Portland swap meet's a really fun one. But I usually go Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning, but I didn't even get in until 5 on Friday with my family, and we were all dead tired from flying all day, so didn't get a chance to go to Portland this year. Wayne Carpenter, why Mopar? What's your Mopar history? Well, when I was a kid, my dad had a '68 Charger just out of high school, and he always talked about how powerful and good looking and great that car was. And so my brother Gary, who's on here too, when we were in high school, we kind of got obsessed with Chargers a little bit, and we kind of pooled our money together in high school and bought a really cool '70 Charger, burnt orange, like 70,000 original miles, super clean California car, and we had that all through high school. And I ended up having to sell when I went to college because I had to buy a daily driver for college, but it kind of just snowballed from there. I ended up doing a eBay business, which I'm kind of still doing now. I was a member of the local Mopar club in Seattle, and I had a couple friends who they uh, they kind of parted cars out. So I started selling parts on eBay for them, and then Rocket kind of came from that. I sold used parts for a while. Then I kind of realized that selling reproduction parts is easier because you can just list them on eBay and just hit relist rather than taking pictures every time. And then I kind of grew into the restoration side when I went down to Olympia, and yeah, so that's my Mopar. Mopar's unique, Chevys, everybody's got a Chevy. Mopar's cool, it's unique. The colors, the engines, they had the best engineering. They might not have been the best put together of the big three, but they were definitely the best engineered. And I just always loved Mopars. Howdy, Dead Dodge Sister. I haven't seen her on here. Is she on here tonight? I'm not sure. I hope she's feeling better too. She's been pretty much sick. It seems like every single live lately. Um, yeah, it's not fun to be sick on spring break. In fact, my wife got sick yesterday. Kind of on the way home on Friday. She wasn't feeling very good, which is not surprising on a cruise ship because it seems like everybody gets sick on those. Luckily, I've been pretty good, other than the seasickness, because we actually had a bunch of weather. We were supposed to go to Catalina Island and we're on this big cruise ship, and you're supposed to take these small boats on the island, and it was like 10-foot seas. It was crazy. It was like there was big storms coming through, and we ended up not being able to go to Catalina Island. We're supposed to do a glass bottom boat cruise with the kids and like go into town, and I was really looking forward to that. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it because the weather was so bad. In fact, when we got back in Portland on Friday, it was warmer than the entire time in Southern California in Mexico, which is a little disappointing. I was hoping it'd be a little warmer down there, but um, there is this Gary Conrad. There was a Superbird. Okay, no, go away. Here, Conrad, there's a Superbird in the window of the body shop across the street from the gas station. The gas station where I'm a little confused by that. I must have missed something there. But that's cool. Oh, in Veronia. Oh yeah, I know him. That's Gary. He's a good dude. I've known him for a lot of years. He's got a Subaru in the window. He also has a Hemi GTX convertible in the basement. He has a lot of really cool cars. Um, yep. Yeah, I think it's Gary Conrad. I think that's his name. So, my brother says you're welcome for leaving all the crap right in the middle of my shop right when I needed to walk when I was trying to do a video this morning. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. Also, everyone, there are no mods tonight, so anything goes. Yeah, something like that. Actually, I'm not going to advertise that. Big Wrench Tech. Hey, welcome. Thanks for coming on. I haven't seen you in a little while. I literally just landed at T6 Texan looking for Jamie, but here I am, Tom. Appreciate you coming out here. Appreciate it. Brian Cochran. Hey, Brian. Brian's a good friend of mine. He's done Lemons racing with me. He actually raced a Edsel in the 24 Hours of Lemons. Epic. Won the Index of Affluency, the highest honor in Lemons. I'm actually doing Lemons in a couple weeks. PIR's race is the 18th through the 20th of April up in Auburn, up south of Seattle. I'll be there for 3 days. Not racing, just judging up there, but it's fun. But yeah, Brian actually brought a 61 Plymouth wagon for me down to California, which is nice because getting stuff out of my yard is always nice because my brother, Jamie, and everyone else is yeah, my yard's full of other people's stuff. I don't need to go on the list. My brother and Jamie were having a contest to see who could have the most cars here at once. Fleetwood, love the front suspension video, Tom. Sorry, I should really be doing this on my computer. It would probably work way better. I'm trying to show some of these comments, trying to be better about that, but it's the program I'm using here is not really conducive to that. Love the front suspension, Tom. One question on the tranny. You have a normal tail shaft seal. I put the long one on the dust boot design. What's correct? The long one is, and we're going to change that. So my tranny rebuild guy put that together before we were kind of doing like full on OE. So he just used the one in his tranny kit. I've got some NOS ones. Keep in mind that 904 and 727 are different, but I actually have some NOS ones around. So it's we're gonna put an NOS one with the long boot. So yeah, that's something we still need to fix on it. Good catch on that, but that was on the to-do list to fix. So Okay, what's next? Main Street Mopar. Hey, how's it going? Ben Braddock, how are you doing? Seems like you handle the hardcore nut about resto, while Jamie's mostly about patch them and send them. Do you and Jamie trade off different projects based on which way you work? Honestly, not really. Jamie kind of has his own stuff going on, and I kind of have my stuff going on. Jamie sent me a few jobs over the years, but I'll be honest, I've never actually sent Jamie a job because like he doesn't really need it, and we kind of have a different client base. Jamie at this point doesn't really need any more work. Oh, Donnie just sent me a couple pictures of a plane. That's cool. That's super cool. T6 Texan. I don't know how to show it. I have it in a thing, but yeah, Donnie the flyer. Um, what was I saying? Jamie kind of when he takes on projects anymore, he does it from a very YouTube standpoint. I mean, he's a professional YouTuber now. This is what he does 24/7, and when he takes on a project, it's more for the YouTube. People bring stuff to me because we're known for doing OE work and being able to fix stuff. So when Jamie's only usually here about 1 day a week. When Jamie first kind of started on YouTube is about when he started here at Rocket, and he was working here about 3 days a week because he basically had his mail truck business and kind of was trying to figure out what to do with everything. So he was here 3 days a week, did a lot of work here. We got a bunch of stuff done. We did that 392 Challenger here and a bunch of other stuff. But honestly, he's so busy at home right now with his own projects and other stuff that he's working on. He's usually only here about 1 day a week. He came in 2 days last week because we had that Jeep pickup he did a video on that I wanted him to get revived, and then we have a V-dub like bug Jeep thing that I don't think he's released the video on that, but that's gonna come out soon. We got that thing running, but we didn't quite finish it before he left. So he had a couple of videos to do here. We got the 6-pack motor out. So he was actually in 2 days, not last week, but the week before. He'll probably just be in 1 day this week is when I finish the video, the Fury GT video. But we have a bunch of engines for him to build here. But yeah, we don't really. I mean, kind of answer your question as I'm rambling here. We don't really have a lot of crossover. I don't think I've ever sent Jamie a job because he's so busy. He doesn't really need anything, and that's not really the stuff that comes to me is just different that comes from him. If it comes to him, if he can get a good YouTube video out of it, but he's not really trying to do any long-term stuff. And we tend to concentrate on stuff that takes a little bit longer. So hopefully that answered your question in a very roundabout way. Tom will be buying those cars soon enough. Which cars, Dennis? Not sure what cars you're talking about. Sorry. Bob Corner, good evening, everybody. Just got finished watching Jamie's video and headed over. We had a busy day at cheer camp for my daughter. I can handle loud cars, not cheerleaders. Yeah, that sounds like a long day. Sounds like a very, very long day. My kids are in sports right now. They're 9 and 6, so they're getting very involved with that. So, okay. Howdy Hot Shoe, how you doing? Burger Ranch, yep, cool. T6 Lucky Split, cool. Hey McLovin Garage, appreciate it. You coming over here? Too much politics in Tony's life tonight. Yeah, we're not going to go into politics right now. That's not what we're going to do. Hey Dead Dog Sister, hey Dead Dog Sister. Wilbur Sasquatch, hi Ryan McLovin. Yep, thanks for coming over here. Yeah, Dennis Wheeler. Oh yeah, the Superbird GTX. Sorry, I already lost my train of thought on that. Yeah, it's Gary. He's got a GTX. He's got a bunch of stuff in that basement too. He does body work there. He's got so much cool stuff there. It's really cool. Yeah. Hey Alan, hopefully you made some progress on the RT. Actually, I just found an auction for a local RT. It's a regular cab with a bunch of mods with like super super low miles, which I'm not going to share because I'm going to try to bid on it next week. So I'm very excited about that. So we'll see if that actually happens or not because I'm horribly cheap. But there's a local auction with an RT with 22,000 original miles on it. So if that thing's cheap enough, that one's coming home in about a week. So Bob Conert, what's happening on the CHP 880? I actually have some updates on that right now. So basically where we're at on that is I do want to do that car. Technically my brother bought it, but I kind of own it because I paid for it, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes my brother, I'll just trade cars around. It doesn't really matter. But there's a local guy who has a 62 CHP 880, which is basically the same car. I mean, there's a little design differences, but the suspension, motor, all that stuff is essentially identical. It's a car I tried to buy a couple years ago. The guy outbid me for it. He got it running and driving, and it's actually in pretty good shape. And basically, my brother's trying to buy that right now, and it's a little complicated. We made an offer on it, and he started laughing at us. He said he was going to put it on Bring a Trailer, no reserve. So the plan is I'm going to try to bid on that, and if we win it, we'll probably. Did I say 64? Well, okay. The local guy has a 63. This one's a 64. The one I have is a 64. I don't know, whatever. I say bad stuff all the time. If everybody corrects everything wrong I say, we're going to be here all night. But the Loco 63 is supposed to go and bring a trailer. We're going to try to bid on that. If it's a runner driver, it's in a little better shape. It doesn't need an engine rebuild. So if we end up buying that one, then we'll probably sell the 64. If that one, if it goes for too much, then we want to pay. We'll probably rebuild the motor on the 64. I know I just had a guy. I might have been you, Bob. I'm not sure. I trying to cross names who's emailed me with YouTube names. I can't do that. You might have been the one who's emailed me. If you were, I responded to you this afternoon. Finally got through my backlog of emails from being gone a week. We'll probably sell the 64. If we don't buy the 63, I'm probably gonna do the motor on it. So I'd love to do more videos on that because I did a video on that and it did really, really well. Jamie's video did really, really well on that. That was kind of the disappointment of, we tried to get that motor free and it never freed up. So I had that undercover for a little bit, but the shop got a little full and the Lancer had to go underneath the outdoor undercover storage. So it's currently sitting outside, which I was kind of hoping we'd be getting the dry season pretty soon, but it doesn't really look that way. So I am drinking tonight another Freem. This is one of my favorite local beers. They're in Hood River, Oregon. This one is the Japanese lager. They're kind of famous. They have a lot of good beers, a lot of good IPAs. I really like their pale. I really like their Pilsner. But they're also doing a bunch of stuff where they're kind of like copying popular beers. So this is basically Sapporo, but better. Then they have a Mexican beer that's basically Corona, but better. But I don't know. It's kind of my go-to right now. That and the Pilsner, but good, good, good. Okay, what else do we got here? Okay. The Blue 300 still looks like a unit. What a unit, McLovin. Yeah, that car is fantastic. So my brother actually finally got to drive that this week. He came back from Portland and got to drive around. I really haven't been able to put any miles on it because we got it back together and um, it just did. It was been raining and it's in my back shop right now because I got the Superbird and the V Code Fury DT in the shop right now. And like around my shop, I have really good gravel, but out in the back shop, you got to basically drive through mud when it's been raining this much. And I really didn't want to get all muddy trying to get it out. So we really got it out this weekend when it was a little bit drier. Um, David, no friendship test today. Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. Yep. No, Jamie, I'm the captain now. I've taken over the ship. Jamie's not here, man. Jamie's not here. Bill James, did you say 51 wagon? I really like the pre-Ford look cars. Give me a hospital on 52 Concord Fastback. Sorry, I didn't save. No, it was actually a 61 Plymouth wagon. So a good friend of mine, Ken, he's in the Bay Area. Good dude. He's a scrapper, really good at finding stuff. He's obsessed with 61s. I did a video from his house. It was fall fling last year, I think. Maybe spring fling. It was sometime last year. Basically the biggest 61 Plymouth collection in the world. And yeah, so it went down to him. So he bought it locally. I picked it up for him, stored it here for a little while for him. Then my friend Brian brought it down to California last week. So and I guess it made it down there one piece. And then I have another car coming soon, hopefully. I've had shipping set up for 2 weeks, but apparently shipping is like completely frozen all across the country right now because all the snowbirds are bringing their cars home from the south, from Florida and Arizona back up north. And unfortunately, I can't get my car shipped right now because it's in Alabama trying to get up here. And it's a non-runner, so no one wants to touch it. But I'm very excited about that project when it finally shows up. But yeah, it's I'm just waiting for it to get shipped. I will do a video on it when it gets here. It's a super cool car, but yeah, until that happens, it's not going to happen. Fleetwood. Another question: did they use cotter pins starting in certain years? I'm pretty sure they did at some point. I know at least through 71 they use the pins without cotter pins. The split pin, I think, is what they called it. But I don't know if or when they went to cotter pins. I'm sure they did at some point. But as far as I know, through the muscle car area, it was all the same. So. Um, it wasn't me. I'm in Niagara Falls, Ontario, but doing it on a 6480. Oh, cool. Well, thanks for watching, Bob. Appreciate it. I actually had a guy in the live last week who was asking me about if it was for sale. I responded to him this afternoon. Again, it's kind of a, trying to figure out if I'm going to buy that 63 or not. I remember my first car. It was my mom's 63 Dodge Pioneer wagon. Cool. Neat car. Mopar Sasquatch. RT's getting better. I hope you're the one bidding on it. I hope you get the one you're bidding on. Yeah, I hope so too. It's pretty cool. It's a super low mile regular cab RT with some pretty cool modifications to it. Question: what color do you use to primer final coat to purple so stone chips don't show? Again, I'm not Bernie. I'm not really a body and paint guy here. I know a lot of people think that. We used to have a body shop. I used to be in downtown Olympia, and Okay, I'm trying to make this work here. When we were in downtown Olympia, we had a body and paint shop, and we did all that stuff. But just kind of what happened is I never really made money in body and paint. You always gave somebody a quote. It was always more money than you thought it was. And by the way, that hasn't changed. If if a paint guy gives you a $10,000 quote, it's going to be $15,000. If you get a $15,000 quote, it's going to be $20,000 to $25,000. If it's a $20,000 quote, it's going to be $25,000 to $30,000. Every single paint job is that's how that's happened, like without fail. um uh as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't really matter what color the primer is, because if the paint job is good, you shouldn't have to worry about that. There's enough paint on that where you won't have to worry about paint chips. So as far as primer, I mean, most of them are just gray. They usually do a high build in front of that, but there's no like difference of that as far as I know. But again, I'm not a body and paint guy. That is not my strength. Non-Mopar related, I got engaged Saturday night. Oh wow! Congratulations, Big Wrench Tech. Big Wrench Tech got engaged. Congratulations! Wow, that's pretty awesome, man. Congratulations. Um, there was a Chrysler V220 engine on display, which is super cool. I'm not sure what that is. Do you mind telling me what that is? I will have to look that up. Let me look that up. I don't know what that means. IV2220 Chrysler. Ah, that is, that is cool. 2,500 horsepower, 2,220 cubic inch, liquid cooled inverted V12 World War II aircraft engine. That's cool. Jamie, if you're building the PT Cruiser, put one of those in that. That'd be the way to go. Oh, and Jamie's actually joined the chat. Hey, Jamie. I've been making the joke with Jamie that I've done like one live by myself when I was at McCacken this year. I've made pretty much every one of his, and like he missed the one I did, so at least he came to this one. Is that Barnfind Fury you're getting hyped up to work on? Is the Barnfind Fury getting the hyped up to work on the Fury on the lift? Yeah, it's on the lift right now, so it's been kind of off and on with that. But yeah, that V Code 1970 V Code Fury GT. I it's you get kind of jaded in this job. Like you work on cool cars all the time, and like that car has just been so much fun. Like I know the last day Jamie was here on Thursday, week before, like Evan was like signed out at 5, and we're just all hanging out for like a couple hours, just like with watching Jamie, helping Jamie take the motor apart, just because it was so much fun with the archaeology of that, getting that thing apart and like seeing what was in there. It was pretty awesome going through that. It was like a archaeology. Alan, cheers. Yep. Has the 70 Roner made a spring drive yet? No, unfortunately, it is super, super buried in my shop. I ran out of parking spots, super unusual. I never ran out of parking spots in about November. So in one of my back shops, I have room for 3 cars in there basically. And we had to do like the super like tight, like compact in there. So basically I put the 70 Rotor in there, the 70 Hemi Cuda, my brother's black Ram Charger, and then the Mustang behind that. There's a Mustang we've been working on for a friend of mine, and it's buried behind all 3 of those cars. Luckily, the Hemi motor for the 70 Hemi Cuda. That's pretty much done at the machine shop. They couldn't find wrist pinning bushings for it, so I got those. They arrived when I was gone, so I'm gonna bring those over to the machine shop. So hopefully the Hemi engine's coming back pretty soon, and Jamie will be able to get that rebuilt hopefully soon. I've got about 3 motors for Jamie to do right now, so. But no, the 70 Roner's not made the spring drive yet. Hopefully that's pretty soon. But once we get the Hemi motor out, we gotta get that out. I gotta get that Mustang done too. It's going to my buddy in over in Spokane. Can you play guitar for us? No, that is not in my talent wheel. So I have a very limited talent wheel, and that's not part of it. So no. Yep, congrats to Big Wrench Tech. That's pretty awesome. Getting engaged. Congratulations, dude. Thanks, everyone. Rick S. Hi, Tom. Do you know that old Mopars are built at the Rotterdam plant in Netherlands too? E-bodies too, left-hand drive, 4 speeds, even with the Slant 6. I live there. I own a 69 Barracuda factory clock on console. That's a pretty cool option. Yes, I did know that. They sold knockdown kits over there and sold them over there. I've seen some taxis and some other weird stuff. They had some very cool stuff over there at the time. Those are super cool. They have really weird VIN numbers on it too. I have a friend who's done a bunch of research on that. Bunch of cool. Bigger and Stack, that Chrysler V12 16 was a big deal for a bit. Yeah, super, super cool. Hello, Alan. Hello from Milwaukee. Andrew, welcome. Appreciate you coming on the chat. I don't think I've actually seen you on Jamie's chat before. Welcome here. Thanks for coming. Appreciate everybody. We're up to 97 people, which is I think pretty good for me. Jamie usually has over 200, so appreciate everybody coming over here. Uh, Jamie checked in. Is this where the party's at? Okay, I'm just saying hi though. Hi, Jamie. You're probably already gone, but yeah, he's on his anniversary trip. So happy anniversary, Jamie. They got married on April Fool's Day, which seems somehow appropriate. But thanks for dropping in, Jamie. Appreciate it. Rich, howdy y'all. Hi, how's it going? Hot shoe, we always dark primer on dark top coats and light on light. Yep, I mean that makes total sense. So, hi from Kelso, Andrew. Appreciate you being here. Dennis, congratulating Donnie. Bell James saying hi, Jamie. Hi, Jamie. Yep, go hang with your wife, Jamie. I got it. I'm the captain, steering the ship. Hopefully, we don't go too far off the rails here, but we're doing pretty good so far. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't quite make it through Jamie's video today. It was an hour and a half, but that 64 Dart was pretty cool. He stopped by here after he picked it up on his way back to his place because he wanted us to look at it, and he was working on that GT motor that day on Thursday. That car is amazingly clean. I'm a little jealous. I really like. I mean, I'm not a huge early A body guy. I'm 6'5". I don't fit in them very well, but I've had a couple really clean ones, and that was a really clean car. So I'm looking forward to seeing that thing together. I need to watch that video. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I gotta meet with my accountant this week to finish my taxes, so I'll probably watch that one. I'm trying to finish that. No cider for me. Not a big cider guy. Alan Pierce. I had a 68 New Yorker beater car, unexpectedly fast. Yeah, those are great cars. Even with the low po 440, those things hauled. I mean, they're big cars, but they really went pretty good. Yeah, this does not work well on a phone. I should really figure out how to do this on my computer because this is not working as well as hope. Wouldn't that be a P38 Cruiser? I don't. I'm not familiar with planes. That's a big wrench tech question. Noel Automotive. Hey Noel, just watched your. I was catching up on emails this afternoon when my kids were watching videos, and I watched your live with just Mopar Joe. You guys did a good job on that. So I might be doing a live with Noel Auto pretty soon. We're trying to figure out a date where that works. He wants to try to do it on a Saturday, and my kids are now in baseball, t-ball, and minor league baseball, so I have to kind of work around that. Primer, yummy. I can taste it. John the Striper, hello from Victoria. Hey, how's it going? Glad you're here. Martin Adams, evening. Glad you're here. Send Jamie to the corn. We don't have moderators tonight, David. There's no one. I don't even know how to send him to the corn. I did a live. I started this and it was unlisted. I completely messed up. That's why I was 2 minutes late. I had it all set up. I was here early and I completely messed up. I did like 3 minutes by myself, and you're probably gonna find that somewhere on my channel. I'm gonna have to delete that after this. Hey, Jamie. Andrew Dashiell, is the frame of an '08 1500 Ram the same as its Cummins counterpart? Anyone? No, they're completely different. The Cummins frame is like, again, I'm not super familiar with the late model trucks. I'm more of a muscle car guy, but I know the heavy duty frame is completely different. It's much more heavy duty, way bigger. It's longer in most cases, and it's just completely set up different. So I don't think those frames interchange at all. Dan Tupper, Rich Riker, no, was never assigned to production airframe series, had heavy heads. Jamie again. We just finished margaritas and damn fine meal. Currently recharging for a little bit before returning to the soaking pool. It's a rough life. Yeah, vacation's tough, huh? Are you at McMinimans? I think that's what you said you were. I don't know. I probably shouldn't say because people might try to show up trying to find you. Love a good margarita though. We did on our Disney cruise in Ensenada, Mexico. We went to a hotel that they say invented margaritas, but apparently, like pretty much every town in Mexico says that they invented margaritas. But yeah, we had a good margarita in Mexico. It was really, really good. The soaking pool's nice too. Very, very nice. Hopefully it's in your room, or if you have to go somewhere else. Yep. Be Dragon, enjoy your vacation, Jamie. Yep. Enjoy some well-earned time off. Jamie hasn't taken a vacation in a very, very long time. He deserves a couple days off. McLovin Garage, just happy anniversary. Tell Mrs. Jamie we appreciate sharing with you all of us. Yep. Jamie hasn't missed a live on a Sunday in a very, very long time. He deserves a little bit of a break. Okay. Enjoy the downtime, Jamie. Yep. That's good. Who's Jamie? Yeah. You got me. What do you need Jamie for? Welcome back, Tom. Cheers to the north of the 49th. Yep. How's it going? Downtown Power and Sound. Thanks for being here. Did you go to the Portland Swap Meet, Tom? No, unfortunately, McLovin Garage, I missed it. I was on the Disney cruise with my kids. I mentioned that at the start. We were gone for it was a 5-day cruise, but we went to the San Diego day early to go to the San Diego Zoo, which is pretty cool. My wife's obsessed with pandas, and they have the pandas back. And then my sister-in-law is obsessed with koalas, and so are most of my nephews and daughter. So we got to see the koalas, got to see the panda bears at the zoo, which is cool. And then we did the cruise for a week. So and I didn't get back till 5 on Friday. So there's not much point in going Saturday to Portland, and I was really tired from being gone for a week, and I didn't really want to go back down to Portland. So I haven't missed the Portland swap meet in years, but unfortunately this year I did miss it. All right. It wasn't that long ago. Show quality paint was around 5,000. It's been a while. Basically, I started working at Rocket in '06, '07. And I remember when the financial crisis happened in '08, '09 there. And I remember oil skyrocketed. The first time went over $100 a barrel, I think. And basically most paints are based off oil. So I remember like our paint costs doubled overnight. I mean, it wasn't 5 grand at that point. But it was like 10 was the minimum at that point, basically, just because the paint got so expensive. I remember we painted a red car in like '09, '10, and it was like, I think it was 2 to 3 grand just for the materials. And it's more than that now. It's actually quite a bit more for that now. So it's been a while. Alan Pierce, Tom, I had a '68 New Yorker without Jamie's favorite side markers. Is this an oddball? You're gonna have to explain that to me. So the '68 did not have side markers. So most '68s have the little round side marker, which is really cool. I think it's a nice design. I mean, if you had to have side markers, it was pretty um, discreet. I don't know what the best name for that is. But the Chryslers actually had square side markers, which I prefer the round ones, but I know the 300 had that. I had a really nice '68 300 convertible a couple years ago that had the square side markers. They looked really good. I'm sure your '68 had the square ones rather than round ones, but they're still kind of small. They're not really too intrusive, which is nice. Okay, where am I at with comments here? John the Striper, I have a '68 Dart without side marker lights. Well, '68 Dart should have side marker lights. It was federally mandated. So if it doesn't have them, either the nose has been swapped or they've been filled in. So because that was a federal requirement. In fact, the little known thing. So '68 they had the little side markers, and this was all federal regs. This wasn't anything the car companies wanted to do because it was extra money for them. But in '69 Chrysler decided to do bigger ones. So they were kind of rectangular, about that big, instead of the small side markers, but they weren't lit up. And Chrysler actually got a huge federal fine for that because they were supposed to be lit and they were not. And in '70, they went to lit ones because that was the federal regulations. So David, he skipped last year. Glad he made it this year. Yep. Uh, Tom, always appreciates a chance to look over your shoulder when you go through the classic Chrysler catalogs. Do you know what bulb was used in the short-lived Superlight and if it's still available? That is a very good question. I don't know the answer to that. I believe there is, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Luckily, on the 1970 Monaco wagon we have for my friend Willie in Germany, it worked, so I didn't have to track one down. For that, I would definitely go on the first C bodies only board. I'm sure that there's a thread on that on what's correct and is not, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So I don't, at least I don't have it off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there is a replacement for that. That works. All right, I had to lift up here a little bit. I'm also wearing a Dead Judge Garage shirt tonight. And the captain, but I'm still towing the company line. So okay. McClellan Garage didn't make it up this year, unfortunately. Yeah, Portland's great. I mean, it's such a huge swap meet. I mean, it takes like 4 to 5 hours just to walk the track. It's crazy how long it takes to get around there because there's so many vendors. Of course, it's all makes, but there's always cool stuff. There's a Jeep I tried to buy there last year. There's always kind of cool cars. There's always lots of stuff. Rich, seriously, last vacation with Sturgis, 1997. Man, you gotta take a vacation, man. Like, it's the only way to burn off some steam. And I got kids too, so it's like, got to do stuff for them. My wife and I did a bunch of trips by ourselves the last couple of years, but we wanted to do one with the kids. And I'm going to do a national park tour with the kids in June. I got a car to deliver to South Dakota and 2 cars to pick up out there. I'm picking up a Roadrunner and a '70 Coronet, so that'll be third week of June. And of course, I'll do some content on that trip too. But we're bringing the whole family along, so I think it's a lot of fun. We're gonna do Glacier National Park, Theodore Roosevelt National Park. We're gonna do the Badlands, Rushmore, Windy Caves, all that stuff. That'll be a really fun trip. I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be in June. It's after school leaves. We're just gonna take the truck and trailer out with my 2 car hauler. Hoping to find 2 cars to bring out there, and then I'll bring them back. So, but it should be a fun trip. Dalton Sparks. I've seen the post and made it. The videos have been awesome, like always. Thanks, Dalton. Really appreciate it. Ross, why the special damper on the 6-barrel Fury GT? Well, every 440 HP and every 440 6-pack and 6-barrel motor has that. So they actually use a special rod in those motors that's actually a heavier duty rod. It's actually physically bigger. The normal 440 non HP uses the smaller rod, which is the same as any 440 66 to 69. But on those motors, they must have been, Chrysler didn't do anything if they didn't have a reason for it. So I'm sure they were having warranty claims. They were breaking rods in the 440 blocks, and they basically made a heavier duty version in 1970. And then I'm not sure how long that lasted. It was like 70 to 72. I think some 73s got it too. I don't think 74s did when they went to cast crank. But it's the special damper is a heavier duty damper for balancing those heavy duty rods. And I know that that's necessary. We did a 69 Charger in here a little while ago. That was we didn't do the motor on it, but we did a bunch of other work. We did body and paint on it and everything. And we put a regular balancer on because we didn't realize it was a 70 440 HP rather than a 69 440 HP. And it had horrible vibration issues when we put it together. And then we caught it afterwards and had to put one of those special dampers on it to fix that. So lesson learned. Okay. Ben Braddock, 727 for 4-wheel drive. Significant differences internally, or basically just a transfer case in the place of a tail shaft. As far as I know, it's pretty much the same. I'm not an expert on those by any means. I've never rebuilt one, but as far as I know, a 727 is a 727. In fact, I was just watching Freiberger did a video on a Tornado, and they did the same thing with that. So they had the power package, the front wheel drive Tornado and the Eldorado. It was basically just a turbo 500. It was very modified, obviously, because they had to have the shafts go out for the front wheel drive off the front of the motor. But as far as I know, a 727 is a 727, the internals. But there might be some differences on the inside. And obviously, the tail shaft's different. But as far as I know, internally, it's basically a 727. I don't think there's any differences. But I am far from an expert on that. So. Source for sunroof gaskets on a 77 W200 factory sunroof. Enjoying 6-barrel Fury vids. Yeah, thanks for watching those. I'm having a lot of fun doing them. I don't know if we're gonna have one this week. Depends if we get the motor apart. Kind of the next step on that car is we're gonna get cleaned up. We gotta get the motor apart. We have a bunch of components. I have a list like this long of all the components that need to go to certain vendors. We got to send the wiper motor off, master cylinder, brake booster, power steering pump, power steering box. All this stuff has to go to all these vendors. But my frame guy came out last week and took a look at it, so I need to get over to him. He's working on a Corvette. He's got about another week. So we're gonna take the bumpers off. It's gonna be on my frame guy. We're gonna make sure everything's straight. We looked at it, we measured stuff. Everything looks very straight on it, so I'm not too worried about that. But there's definitely some damage, kind of in the filler area in the back where the license plate mounts. So we're getting the bumper off. Probably try to pull it out as best we can. Make sure the front stub is straight, and then we'll get it back here. Kind of go on the next step. And I think we're actually gonna try to do dry ice blasting on it. I've never actually personally tried that before. I've read a lot of good stuff about it, and everything I've read has been super positive. So they basically use dry ice to blast it, so it doesn't really get rust off, but it doesn't leave any residue. That's always the problem when you try to clean these cars. There's multiple different ways to do it, but they all have their downsides. For example, we have a Challenger in the shop that I've been showing on the channel. It's a 446 pack 4-speed car, and that car was sandblasted. And that car was sandblasted years ago, and every time we move it, sand falls out of the rocker panels. That's the problem with that. You can dip them. I've had several cars dipped before. So they have them chemically dipped to get them completely clean. Well, the problem with that is it gets every single area is dipped. So inside the rockers, inside the roof panels. So everything's bare metal when you're done with that. And you have to be very careful to go in and make sure you put primer in all those areas so it doesn't rust. The dry ice blasting is supposed to work really well, preserves original paint. So we're going to do the underside, which is, pretty crusty, as you saw in the first video. Then we're gonna do the whole engine bay once we get it stripped, the stub frame, all that, and we're basically gonna see what happens because I've heard really good things about it, and I think that's gonna work really well in that car. So looking forward to it. Factory sunroof gaskets, I have no idea. I didn't even realize they put a sunroof on those. Are you sure it's not a aftermarket one? I've seen a lot of aftermarket sunroofs in those. I've never seen a factory sunroof on those. So unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that question. So, but I'm not even sure if that's original or not. So I would double check that first. Martin Adams, oil's down, but gas is up. Yep. That's how it usually works. Well, Gas always goes up in the spring because there's all the federal regs with summer gasoline. So especially in California, I mean it's all over, but California they have to use a different blend in the summer, which is more expensive. It's supposed to put out less pollutants in the summer, I guess. I don't know. So gas prices always go up, but also the price of oil is down about $10 a barrel in the last week. So I assume gas prices are probably gonna go down, which is good. Costs less to drive the muscle cars. So David from Mopar Guys, the swap meet isn't the best place to buy stuff. Once you have the phone numbers of the four Mopar Guys, there isn't much a high point other than hanging out. Yeah. Well, and when I go to those stores, I buy a lot of signs. I buy a lot of like license plate frames and license plates. That's kind of what I concentrate on when I'm at those things. My brother bought a ridiculous amount of license plate frames at the swap meet and a bunch of other stuff too. So that's kind of what I look for. But it's also the treasure hunt. I mean, I just love going to a Chevy Guys booth and there's like a a 3 4 speed carburetor there or something that's like super low price. I don't know. I just like doing that kind of thing. So um I guess the 80s were a while back now. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, it's 2025. The 80s were 35 years ago. That's a long time. And that's about the last time a paint job was $5,000. At least a good one. Um, that's not a wrong take, David. I do like walking PR. Found some fun stuff down there. Yeah, I mean, there's always cool stuff. There's wheels and tires. Like, I when I was buying wheels and tires for a while there, the Ford stuff fits a Mopar. There's always lots of cool stuff in there. I always find really cool stuff there. So, thank you, Tom. Are you the super light? Any thoughts on Port Townsend Brewery? Cheers and have a good evening. Yeah, you too. I actually haven't tried anything from Port Townsend Brewery. I, I don't drink nearly as much as I used to, and honestly, most of the stuff I drink anymore is kind of lower alcohol content. I don't really like hazy IPAs or anything like that. I mean, this is a 5%, which is about perfect for me. So, I've never tried anything from them, but I'm always willing to try a new brewery. So. John the Striper, wondering if mine was early build, registered 68. I if it's a VIN 68, it was a federal mandate. There's a lot of different stuff on that where it's federal mandates, and that is it has to happen. So I don't know. I mean, I've seen pre-production cars with weird stuff on them before, but it's pretty unusual. So JW Kegel, I appreciate the super chat. This is my first super chat ever. Congratulations. Thank you. I really appreciate that. What's up, Tom? I have a 65 Dart with a 170. I want to say thanks for what you do. And Jamie, yeah, it's great. I love 65 Darts. They're really nice cars. So Jamie just got that 64. It's a really cool car. I really like that thing. It's really clean. So appreciate the super chat. Really do. Okay, where am I at with comments? I'm actually not that far behind. But there's less people here than Jamie's. It says 93 right now. That's a pretty good number for me. Um, okay. Bernie Resney, how far are you going with the Fury? So the plan is with that, we're trying to do a preservation restoration on it. So I know that's kind of a loaded term. But basically, what we're going to do is we're going to preserve as much of the originality of the car as we can. So it's 75% original paint. It's had a repair on the passenger quarter, on the driver door. My plan is to not really touch any of that. We took the hood scoop off. I talked to the owner. We had a very long conversation about the hood scoop because we just thought that somebody kind of threw that on in the 70s. And according to a guy who was at the dealership when that thing was delivered, there was a dent in the hood when it came in, which is another thing I want to talk about here real quick. There was a dent on the hood, and they basically the guy's like, "Well, I want a hood scoop anyway," so they threw that on. It was obviously a JC Whitney piece to look like a Ford piece. It's awful. I had a very long conversation with the customer. We're not putting that back on the car. So probably what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to put a new hood on it because I don't think it's worth trying to fix the original hood. Also, I think that's part of the originality of the car and should be preserved with the car, and that's the plan. But so I'm gonna have to paint a hood. The rear valance is toast. The front valance is toast. I'm actually super excited. We actually found an original paint fender extension for the passenger side. So the passenger side fender extension, so the front bumper's kind of up on this side where when it went in the ditch. I'm assuming just the bumper bracket's bent. That's also why we're bringing it to our frame guy. I actually cracked the fender, the extension on the fender. But I actually found an original R6 paint extension that I bought last week. Special shout out to Manny, part of the Fury GT Mafia. as it were. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So that's a piece we won't have to paint. I'm going to use that original paint part. We'll buff it out, put it on the car. We're going to probably have to paint the front valance, the rear valance, and probably a hood for it. And I'm trying to save everything else. The vinyl top's in excellent condition. We don't have to touch that. The interior, other than it's covered in mice, is in excellent condition. I'm planning on not touching any of that. Obviously, we're going to clean that up as best we can, put that in. It's going to have to probably get a new front bump. It's going to have to get a new rear bumper that's very damaged from the accident. I have a really nice core here we're going to put on there. And then we're gonna completely rebuild the engines. All the drivetrain's gonna get done. Rear end's gonna come apart. Mechanically, it's gonna be restored. We'll do all the front end components. But externally, we're gonna try to save as much as we can. It's only original once, and we'll just kind of see how it turns out. We're gonna buff the paint out, but that's the current plan with the car right now. So this is, I've done this a lot to cars I've been trying to sell before, where I just try to put the least amount of work in possible to make it look the best. And we're going to preserve as much as we can this original car, because this car tells a story as it is. And once it's restored, it's just another restored car. I mean, it's not as bad as a Cuda or a Challenger, because like you restore one of those and there's a million of them at every show. I mean, this is still going to be the only one at the show, but we're trying to preserve as much history as we can. So we're going to hire a paintless dent guy to take out as many of the dents as we can. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what this is going to look like at the end. So, but that's the current plan with the car. So Old Stuff Rules, really enjoying your live stream, Tom. Hope you do more of them. Yeah, I really appreciate Old Stuff Rules. I can't commit to doing every Sunday. I mean, the problem with me is I have two young kids at home that I have to help put to bed every night. Jamie does every Sunday, and he's very regular with this. So if I have a big video or something big coming up, like I'll jump on with him. I'm probably not going to do many solo. No Automotive wants to do one with me. I'll probably do one with him pretty soon. But I'm not. I can't commit to doing this as a regular thing. Jamie's job is to do YouTube. I'm still trying to run a restoration business, and it's just hard to balance both. And doing a 2 hour live every week is just I'm not a full time YouTuber. I try to do at least one video a week. That's my goal. Obviously, the GT video really supercharged the channel. That's over 150,000 views now, which is by far the best video I've ever done. But it's kind of hard for me to commit to do that every week. But really appreciate you watching. Appreciate your comments on that. Really appreciate it. Elon Garage seems like you have a really solid crew at Rocket. Do they each have specialty or the jack of all trades? That's the one great thing about Rocket that I really like with the crew that we have here is everyone kind of has their strengths and weaknesses, and it's really good. And Jamie, honestly, really rounded out most of them. So basically, we have 3 employees at Rocket. So we have Laura Lee, who you never really seen on the channel. She basically helps me with office stuff. She does all the shipping because we do have an eBay store, do all that. She works usually 3 days a week. Does my shipping from eBay, does all my bookkeeping, all that stuff. She does a great job. She's been with me forever. We have Evan, which is kind of a joke. He's kind of like Wilson from Tool Time, where you never actually see his face. He doesn't want to be on camera. Evan's definitely our jack of all trades. He's Evan's been a friend of mine for a long time. He's the guy who comes with me on all my road trips, puts up with all my crap. Like anything that needs to get done in the shop, that's what Evan does. Evan's really good at. He's getting really good at doing front ends. He does all of our front ends here. He's done a lot of that. I can put him on anything and he does a great job with it. And that's kind of what that's Evan's strength. Trev, he's my other full-time employee here. Trev's very much a detail guy. He's done some body and paint in the past, so he does all that for us. He's very detail oriented. We kind of have a joke with Trev that we call him anal Trev, but that's a good thing. Like when you're working on cars like this, you want to be very detail oriented and all that. He's very good with he's getting really good at steering columns, does all of our interior work, putting stuff together, any detail work, buffing. Trev is excellent at that. And then when Jamie joined the team a couple years ago, and again, he's not here as much as he used to be. He used to be 3 days a week. Now he's close to 1 day a week. But Jamie's strength is the mechanics. Like he's really good at tuning carburetors. He's really good with electronics. He's really good at doing revivals. I used to do all my own revivals here. I do them with Evan and me. But the thing is, like, Jamie's so good at it, and he's faster than I am. Like, I mean, I'll be completely honest with you. People made fun of me this before. I'm not like not the best mechanic in the world. That's not my strength. The numbers are my strength. Organization's my strength. Obviously I own Rocket Restorations. I'm the one doing all the organization. Like if we need a part, I'm the guy who's on the phone ordering it. I go out and help in the shop all the time, work on my own stuff. But Jamie does our revivals here because when he's here, I want him to be able to get a YouTube video when he's here. So a lot of times, he'll try to get one video a week when he's here because he's a full-time YouTube guy here. So, but we can help each other out. Like on that Jeep pickup truck, for example, he did the video, did really well on his channel. Well, I bought that truck. I'm probably not gonna keep that truck. It's gonna get sold. So, he went here, got it running for me, got all that stuff done. And now it's a sellable vehicle because it runs. And he's here, he has a YouTube video on that. So, but Jamie really like kind of rounded out. Trev was pretty good with electricals. Jamie is really, really good with electricals. He's very good at tuning cars and diagnosing. He's very good with that stuff. And that's what we use him here at Rocket. Pretty much any car that comes in here, Jamie gives it a 5-minute tune. No matter what it is, even if it's not on the list to do when a car comes in here, I always have Jamie give it the 5-minute tune because there's always something wrong with it that the owner doesn't realize that Jamie makes it better when it's here. So sorry, it's a very long answer to your question, but I hope that answered what you're asking there. So I really did 31,500 steps on Thursday between the track and the expo. That's a lot of steps. Knoll Automotive, we can make Sunday work too. Yeah, I don't want to compete with Jamie, so I just yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a Sunday, but I want to compete with Jamie. Jamie's kind of has Sundays, and then Uncle Tony does it before then. I don't want to be competing with my friends. It just doesn't make any sense. So we can find another day to do it. It's not a big deal. All right, C. Kramer. I'm staring at my 440 and my Fomoco 428 FE. Got me wondering if the RB block is considered a wide block. No, they don't. They don't consider those wide blocks. I don't even know what really wide block means. I think it's kind of wide, but they've never called Mopar a wide block. The Poly 318 is they consider that a wide block, but not the big block. It's never really been considered that. All right, where am I at with comments? Ross, now you're gonna make me check mine. Yeah. Dry splasting. Andrew, dry splasting is absolutely the way to go if you're looking for non-invasive. Yeah, that's what we're looking for this car. We're trying to preserve it as much as possible. We're gonna send the A-track off and do that, but I'm not really planning on touching much on the interior. So that's really the plan. So I've never done it before, and I'm gonna do a video on it because I've never done it before. And keep in mind, like, I don't have any sponsorships on my channel. Like, there's a lot of Mopar channels that get like parts donated. I've never had a single part donated to my channel. But honestly, I'm up at 12,000 subscribers now. I'm gonna start flexing my muscle a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna take sponsorships, but like the local dry ice blasting guy would be like, "Hey, man, can you like squeeze us in at least to get this car done so I can do a video on it and document this?" And I mean, I'm not gonna get it for free. I'm gonna pay the guy what he's willing to pay, but like, I'm hoping I can at least like cut in line a little bit, be able to flex my YouTube channel a little bit, Okay. Hot shoe wasn't 68 the first year for shoulder belts too. My 68 GTX had them. Yeah, so I can never remember which is which. So it's January 1st, 68, I think was shoulder belts. No, I think January 1st, 68 was headrests, and January 1st, 69 was shoulder belts. I can never remember which one's which. No, I think 68 was shoulder belts, 69 was headrests. Those were both federally mandated halfway through the year. They were still optional. So even if your car didn't have them or had them before then, they were optional. But I think January 1st, 68 was shoulder belts, and then January 1st, 69 was headrests. So they were standard after that. And Chrysler knew that was coming. They tooled up for that. So hot shoe, I seen a 67 Cornet that had optional shoulder belts. Yeah, I've seen that too. In fact, there's actually a local guy. It's really cool. He has a 70 Challenger RT, super nice dude. He literally lives up the street from me. And he used to be a brewer at the Olympia Brewery when it was still here, before it was, brewed in Milwaukee beside Miller High Life. He was actually the head brewer there. But the Challenger actually has optional rear shoulder belts. That's the first time I've ever seen that. So I am very good with fender tags, like very, very good with fender tags. It's not unusual. I don't get stumped very often on fender tags, but I remember what the code was. I can't remember what it was. It was like C15 or something. I couldn't remember what I didn't know what it was when I was looking at it, but yeah, it was pretty cool. So it actually had rear shoulder belts on that car. Very rare option. Hot shoe, okay, cool. What about the incorrect Hemi 727 in the Fury? So Dan, yeah, so we got that out. I need to get it cleaned up. So what we're doing now, so this is It's a little complicated. So I was trying to find a correct six pack tranny for that car. We found one in Oklahoma. A buddy of mine ended up with that instead of me. I actually had a local guy contact us with a 1970 440 six barrel transmission, which, by the way, is an extremely hard to find transmission, and they're extremely expensive. We paid way too much for the one, but we found one locally and got it. There's another guy on the East Coast was looking for a Hemi 727, and he actually has another six pack transmission, and another friend of mine needs one for his V Code six pack Fury GT. So I think the plan is to try to do a three-way trade. I need to contact him this week. Fortunately, I was gone for the whole week, so I'm gonna try to contact him next week and see if we can do a trade on it. But I think that's what's gonna happen. If that doesn't happen, honestly, I'm probably going to try to get it rebuilt, and then we're just going to sell it. So, because those Hemi transmissions, that's probably a $3,000-4,000 transmission. Those are extremely hard to find. Yeah, so I may just have my guy fix it up and rebuild it because it looks pretty nasty right now. It's pretty corroded. So we'll try to get it cleaned up and probably just sell it because we had to pay a ton of money for that six pack transmission. Sorry, six barrel transmission. Of course, Dodge is six pack. Hemi is six barrel, or Plymouth is six barrel. So, okay. Cave Dave. Hi guys. Hey Cave Dave. Keely, any Cascade hops? That beverage you're sipping on? I don't know what's in here. I don't know if they actually say. Free makes a ton of good stuff. They're in Hood River, Oregon. I really haven't had anything that I've had from there that I haven't liked yet. I'm not a big IPA guy, but they're really good. So I don't know if there's Cascade hops in here or not. It's actually funny. It's my father-in-law's best friend's son actually started the brewery. So I kind of had it in there when I started drinking there, but they've actually started getting stores. You can find them in Fred Meyer around here now. Costco's actually carrying some of this now too, which is kind of neat. Yeah, it's kind of nice. No break. Great video today. Thanks, man. That was. I'll be honest. I did that this morning. I got back Friday. It was basically slept all day yesterday, and I got that done in like an hour this morning. And got it posted at noon. So usually I try to post them around 10 on Sunday. That one didn't come out until noon. But yeah, appreciate it. I was trying to get some more detail. I wish it could have been up in the air in the car or with the motor not in it. I could have shown a lot more detail. I could have shown the torsion bars. Could have shown the sway bar. Could have shown the power steering box. But yeah, I did. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to do that. Alan Pierce, my New Yorker, had no side marker lights, no shoulder straps. The Nation key was on the dash. Yeah, it should be on the dash 68. It should have had marker lights, though. Are you sure it wasn't a 67? Because 67 didn't have marker lights. 68, it was federally mandated they had to have them. No 68s came out of the factory without side marker lights. That was federally mandated. None could be built without it. But 67 is almost the same car with no side marker lights because it wasn't federally mandated yet. Lawrence, any movement on the Moon Indigo Fury? In my opinion, that was the best color Chrysler offered. Yeah, I love that car. Sabrina was super nice to let me go out there, take video on it. I really like that car. As I said, I've literally been like I've known that car since high school. I've been trying to like figure out who owned it, try to buy it since high school. It's not for sale. According to her, she found somebody to do the metal work on it. So she's planning on having somebody come out to her house this summer and do the metal work. That's the last I heard. I texted her a couple weeks ago just asking how things were going, and that's the last I heard on it. So, but yeah, so hopefully some progress will be made on that soon. I'm crossing my fingers because that is a really, really neat car. I'm hoping something gets done on it soon. Adult Sparks, when messing with these older vehicles, you almost have to find people of all different strengths, even if you. Uh, okay, I can't do this anymore. I gotta do it with my computer. Okay, we're adult. Okay, when messing with these older vehicles, you almost have to find people of all different strengths. Even then, you still come across the stuff that no one can explain. Yeah, I mean, dude, I work in a Mopar shop. I've been doing this most of my life. Every single day, we take something apart that I didn't know about. So, great example. So, we do a lot of motors here. Obviously, we try to do as OE detail as possible. I've never heard of the oil pressure sending unit being painted before. But then again, the vast majority of cars that we do here have the big can for the oil pressure sending unit for a gauge on the dash. We don't do many without. Well, both of the six barrel motors that we have, Trev's motor for his six pack Fury GT, and then the one out of the red car, both had a painted sending unit on it. I didn't know that. I've always read that they were never painted. Both those cars absolutely have original paint on them. So there you go. I learned something last week. Every day you're doing this, you learn something new. Every year I go to McCacken, the big show in Chicago, Muscar Corvette Nationals, and the first place I go to at McCacken is the Survivor judging. And what I do is I go there and I take 100 to 200 pictures of every car that goes through there for reference to my catalog. Not every car deserves to be OE restored, perfect, but that's especially that we specialize in here at Rocket, and that's what we do, and that's the kind of work it takes to put these back original. So, okay. Dave Wheeler off to bed. VA stuff, yay. Thanks again, Tom. Yeah, thanks for coming, Dennis. Really appreciate it. Leanne Conley, don't forget Devil's Tower on your June trip. Yeah, I don't think that's too far off the beaten path. I've been there before, but I think the kids would probably like that. The only thing about this trip though is I'm gonna have my 2 car hauler. It's 36 feet long, plus my long bed crew cab truck with the whole family in it. It's kind of hard to get in and out of stuff. I know Devil's Tower is a little tight up there, but yeah, I don't think that's too far off the beaten path. So we might try to do that if we have time. We're going to spend probably 2 days in the Rushmore, Badlands, Windy Caves region. That's actually where I'm meeting a friend of mine out there. I bought my 70 Roadrunner six barrel car from that guy, and I'm picking up a 70 Coronet from him. So we'll be in that area for a little while. So yeah, we're planning to do a little Bighorn on the way back, and then but I don't know. The nice part is we're driving. We really have no plans, so we can pretty much do whatever we want. So we'll see how far we make it. Hey Rooster, how's it going? Appreciate you coming over. Why is this slouch Jamie not here tonight? Brady, sorry if you just came in. He's on vacation. He's on his anniversary trip. So for him, his wife always take a anniversary trip every year. I think they went to the middle of Oregon somewhere last year. I think they're in a similar place this year. Jamie checked in here for a minute and said he just finished a couple margaritas and was going to the soaking pool. So he's having fun. He hasn't missed one of these in a very long time. So he's taking a well-deserved break tonight. So hey Jeff Melchers, hello Tom and everyone. Yep, thanks for coming by. Really appreciate it. We're at 97 people right now, which is obviously not Jamie levels, but I think 100 people is pretty good for my channel, considering my size. No beret. Great video yesterday at Rooster's Restorations. Yeah, I haven't seen that Rooster. I need to check that out. I'm way behind on videos. When I was on my cruise, I didn't have you couldn't stream anything on the cruise. So I was kind of I was on a cruise hanging out on vacation. So I kind of fell way behind on videos. So I'll see if I can catch up on some tomorrow when I'm working. MD, Fender type question for you. I've been trying to chase down info for a 56 Imperial. Do you know what trim code 81 means? Unfortunately, I don't. I'm really not familiar with the 50s Fender tags. The guy I would there's a couple places to try out for that. The Wall Street Chrysler Club has some stuff on that. I think there's an Imperial Club. Like put it in to Google. I think there's some clubs on there. Try the 300 Club too. They have a lot of information on the Chrysler 300 Club where they have like Fender type decoders on there. And Imperial trim code should be very similar to the Chrysler 300 of those years. So I would check that out, but I don't have that memorized off the top of my head. I don't even have a cheat sheet book for that. The Galen books only go back to 62, so I don't know what that is on top of my head. Versus Restoration, the 20 horsepower Merc video, really? Well, I don't know. People like different things, Rooster. Jamie, give you a free Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. No, I'm doing this for free, but understand that I'm the captain now, not Jamie. I made that joke 3 times now, but more people are coming in, so hopefully more people got that. Okay, just finished watching a video. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate watching the video. It was kind of just a quick one this morning I was trying to do. Honestly, like a lot of times I do these videos for my own reference. So I can go back and look at it later when we're doing the next front end if there's questions if I can't remember. Because, dude, I can't memorize all the stuff. I know most of it. I know where most of the finishes are, but all the head bolt sizes and everything, like I do videos like that for my own reference. In fact, I did on the Superbird, I did a seatbelt video. I spent like a significant amount of time like on 1970 seatbelt, so I could have that for reference later. And then I made one giant mistake to the middle of it. I was missing the shoulder belt straps to the middle, so I completely screwed up the video. Had it all edited, ready to upload, and I deleted it because it wasn't right. So still pretty good. I'm saving it for future reference, but yeah, I had all the seatbelts to the 70 Superbird, and I couldn't figure out where they all went. So I'm like, this would be a good video, and I basically had to throw it all away. So. Hot shoe. I was curious. My GTX was early, had a weird speedometer in it that I had to find a replacement for. The one that had numbers all crammed together. I don't know what year your GTX is hot shoe, but I know GTXs had special gauge packages in 68 and 69. They had 150 speedos. some of the Coronet RTs had that too. Coronet RT, you get an optional rally dash, which of course had the 150 speedo, but on a 68 GTX, 69 GTX, it had to be the bar sweep dash, and they were 150 speedo. So very hard to find, very rare. Yeah, Rooster's been working on a 69 Fury. I need to Jamie. Oh, good. Jamie just showed up to watch Brady pissing in the pool. Yeah, there's no moderators tonight, Jamie. So it's Lord of the Flies tonight. So there's nobody um to moderate. But I don't know. I always have fun going back with Brady. He likes to stir the pot a little bit, but that kind of is what it is. So Brady liked today's video. Thanks. I thought you went on vacation this week. Yeah, I got back Friday. I've been gone. We left last Saturday and came back on Friday, so I'm back now. So, did I get it right that the owner of the '70s Sport Fury is going to keep it? Yeah, that's a family heirloom. So, I explained this in the video a little bit, but so the dad bought that car in '79. He had a few drinks one night and took it out on the road and put it into a ditch, and then basically parked it in '81. And then it just sat in the barn. And the son wanted it for years, kept on asking his dad for it, and his dad probably correctly thought that he would probably kill himself in it. That is a weapon, yeah, with that motor in it and that big of a car. And so it just sat in the barn. And then apparently he was home for Christmas this year, and his dad gave him an old family tractor, like an Allis Chambers or something. And then, according to the dad, like he got the guts up to ask him if he could have the Fury. And the dad basically said, like, well, I'm never going to do anything with it. And so he gave it to his son. And the son actually lives in the Midwest. The car was from West Virginia. And then he saw my 1970s Sport Fury GT video from the McCacken show this year, and basically contacted me for more information on it. He didn't know anything about it, and I don't think he thought it was a very valuable car. I told him, I'll be honest, I tried to buy it. Like I tried really, really hard to buy it. And he basically said, like, no, it's a family heirloom. We want to keep it in the family. And then he talked to a couple of people in the hobby who vouched for me. Really appreciate it. My buddy Billy Fury in Minnesota talked to him about it, who's a fellow Fury GT owner, and I decided that Rocco Restorations was the right place for that thing to go. And I'm really happy it's here. Obviously, I've been documenting the whole restoration on the YouTube channel, and it's been going great. So really happy to have it here. So, but yeah, it's staying in the family, and if it ever does go for sale, I'm first in line. So, but I don't think it's ever going to be for sale. E-body rear shoulder belt option is option C14. I had to look at that because I never heard of it. Yeah, sorry, I said C15. Yeah, C14 I think is right. Yeah, I saw that on that fender tag when it came in. He stopped by one day to just hang out, and I saw that code. I was like, I don't know what that is. That's pretty rare on a 70 fender tag when I don't know what the code is. Hot shoe, I went on vacation in 2009. Well, it's time you went on vacation again. It's been a while. Barracuda, hello. Hey, how's it going? Getting behind on comments. I'm not as bad as Jamie usually does. Do you help people find rare mobile parts? Yeah, sometimes. People contact me sometimes about that. So, and I actually have a dealer's license now. So, I sell cars on consignment too. We sold a black 72 Duster last year where I got really good money for it. And, yeah, people need help selling cars. I'm helping with that. I also kind of, specialize in estates. I've done a lot of that lately too. Unfortunately, a lot of people in the hobby are getting on the older end of things, and there's been a lot of estates coming up lately. And I'll just buy it like a whole estate. Like that '62 Lancer I got actually came from an estate, so the aluminum Scion 6. So I bought a bunch of cars from that estate. Daytona paint getting close. Can't wait to see it. The Daytona's already painted. We're hoping to put the motor in either this week or next week. The Fury GT is still on the lift, so I need to get that off the lift. And then the next car is scheduled. Well, that's not true. I have a couple short-term jobs that need the lift. I'm probably gonna do the gas tank on that J10 Jeep. Jamie did a video on. I need to do the gas tank on the Lancer. Lancer gas tank's not that bad, but it's got sold to Steven Andrews, who watches the channel. And I told him I bought a new gas tank for it. I told him to do the gas tank. It wasn't terrible, but he wants to drive that car everywhere, like cross country trips and that thing, which I think is fantastic. But the gas tank looked a little sketchy, so we're just gonna do the gas tank on it. It needs a bunch of other stuff, so I may try to squeeze those in on the lift this week, get that done, and then we got I got the paint parts back on the Superbird this week. We got the wing painted, the spoiler, a couple of things. So Trevor and I got to put that back together this week because I'm probably gonna do a video on that next weekend. Looks like Uncle Tony's Garage signed off, which is the first time I've ever said that. We got 113 people watching now, so we picked up about 15 people when Uncle Tony got off. So welcome everyone who's come in from Uncle Tony's Garage. Appreciate you being here. Rooster, Tom, I found a guy with a 69 318 with a W casting intake. Dave Wise says he thought maybe Wyan may have casting Nix from Mopar, but they only do aluminum for now. I still have no idea that, Rooster. I have no clue whatsoever. I mean, that would make sense, but like as far as I know, the only aftermarket. So I mean, Chrysler did all their own cast iron. Like I can't see them farming that out. Like they were very good at that. They farmed out the six pack intakes in '69 to Edelbrock. A few of them squeezed in the 70 when they had some left over. But all the iron intakes they did in house. So I can't see them casting cast iron intakes. It doesn't really make sense to me. But on the other hand, I have no idea what the deal is, so I can't really say either way on that. Hey Tom, I had no idea you were filling in for Jamie tonight. Yeah, we try to do some driveway misfits. We try to do some posts. Jamie did a post on it, I did a post on it, but yeah, Jamie's on. For those who missed it, Jamie is on a well-needed vacation this weekend. His anniversary. He always goes on a trip with his wife for his anniversary. They were married on April Fool's Day, and they're I don't know. They're somewhere. He had a couple margaritas earlier, and he's popped in a couple times tonight. So. Robert Fitch, oh, I didn't know you're doing live tonight. Just watch UTG's live. I'm here now. Oh, thanks, Robert. Thanks for stopping by. I've got probably about 20 more minutes. I'm not gonna do the full 2 hours. Again, my kids tend to go to bed about 8, so I'm gonna I've been reading Harry Potter with my 8-year-old, and we're almost done. I really want to finish the last couple chapters. He's very excited to finish that. So Hachu, it was 68. Okay, yep. Very good. Hi, Chris. Josh, welcome. Good to be here. Driving Misfits. Sometimes this thing just jumps, and then I lose track of where I'm at. Any recommendations on our source of bowl assembly cover, top section, or other parts for 70 thermoquad on 340? Those are not easy to find. You basically got to find a parts carburetor. I think those early ones are different. I think the bowl assembly cover is the same as a 440. I would just look on eBay, see if you can find one. But I know like the 71 is totally unique. I'm pretty sure the 72 parts interchange with some of the 440 ones. You're probably just gonna have to find a parts carburetor. Al Snyder, aloha. Hey, how's it going, Hal? Birdie Dog, how much should an NOS 68 rotor and front grill have gone for in the early 2000s? Little bro forked out $3,000 after looking for a year. That is insane. I don't think one would go for that now, so I don't think they're quite that much. Did Dutch Garage, hey guys, coming over from Tony's. I'm on vacation. Tom said he'd pick up the slack. He has yet to play a song. I mean, I can play one on my phone if that's what you guys want, but yeah, I don't play guitar. Wait, so Jamie went to Uncle Tony's live and skipped my live? Okay. Did a garage. What instrument does he play? Percussion. There. Play an instrument. Y'all happy? There we go. Hachu, Jamie got too political there for me. Yeah, that's kind of an Uncle Tony exclusive. At Dodgy Garage, praying to Mighty Thor that he doesn't try to sing. It always does. I can actually sing. I was in choir in high school, but I'm not going to sing. Hachu, my New Yorker was a 68. Yeah, I love 68. Those slab-sided C bodies, they're really good looking cars. I've got a bunch of 68 Furies, and the thing is, I don't even like 68 Fury is not my favorite C body design. I just kind of ended up with a bunch of them. I've got that 440 4-speed convertible, which I really need to get out and get the body paint out on that soon, but I digress. That's a really cool car. I really want to get that thing done. 68 440 4-speed G70 15 redline tires, factory tack, blue with white interior. What a cool car. Jamie, you're a lost LOL. Yeah, if he's at Uncle Tony's live instead of mine, he's absolutely lost. Pff, too political. Yeah, we're not gonna get in political here. That's not how I roll. Ignoring Brady Dog. Ignored. Good day, Chris. How's it going? Jeff Miltich, you know, all things crisis, quite impressive. You are Professor Mopar. You should add the PhD to your name. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Plymouth Hellcat Dodge. I don't know anything about Hellcats, so that would be kind of hard to do. Spoon Man. That'd be a good one. Can Jamie do Spoon Man? I can do two pens together. So we're the Jamie's here and we are not there. I'm so confused. Screaming goat emoji. Yeah, I don't have a screaming goat. Hey Tony, how's things going? How are you? I'm not actually a rooster. I'm a figment of your imagination. To the sucking pool. Yeah, Jamie, just go back to the pool. Have another margarita. Go back to the pool. That's where you should be. Tom, typically, how much is shipping from you to Texas? Some of the cars y'all have are crazy cheap in comparison. Yeah, I mean, like shipping's not that bad. So I mean, I haven't shipped anything to Texas in a while. I shipped that Cornet to Rooster in Minnesota. So Washington to Minnesota. He's near Rochester. I think it was $1,200, $1,300, something like that. It was really reasonable. I'm trying to ship a car from Alabama right now. We started listing it at 1,500, and he's up to 1,700, and it still hasn't shipped. So for a non-runner, I'd budget $2,000. It'd probably be a little bit less than that, but that's what I would budget. But as I always tell people, it's like stuff's cheap out here and it's really nice. And depends where you're at in Texas. I mean, if you're in West Texas, you got some pretty clean cars out there. If you're Southeast Texas near Houston, we had a 68 Charger RT I helped a customer sell a couple years ago, and that thing was bad. I mean, like all the exposed areas, like under the package tray and everything, that car was like super, super rusty. But yeah, I mean, if you find anything up here you're interested in, I'm happy to hook you up with my guy if you're interested in any cars. Like that Jeep's gonna get sold pretty soon. I got a couple other cars that can come up pretty soon. Just let me know. I can hook you up with my guy. It's pretty reasonable. I mean, I know $2,000's a lot of money, but like to get the right car that's way cheaper than where you're at, like it seems like it makes a lot of sense. So okay. Grand Dog's junk. Got a good digger here. Cleared an air for the garage. Nice. The Jamie bot's alive. He's kind of here. Better busy than bored. Yeah. Of course, I've got enough work for 2 lifetimes. Yeah, you and me. I'm not even that old. Enjoy the work. Thank you, Tom. Yep, thanks for being here. I can play the radio. Probably just caught up to where I was drumming. Hey, Mason Spec. How's it going? Do you ever get those trucks across the border? We were talking about that. He sent me a couple pictures of those. I don't know what they are. Ute Dodge pickups. They're Dodge Suburbans or something. I don't know. I've always kind of wanted one, but I'm sure it's probably going to be more money than I can afford or want to pay for one. There was a really cool Warlock on eBay last week that I bid on that I really wanted. It was a 76 red. I think it was a 360 truck in South Dakota that I was really, really interested in, but Guys Resort was way too much. I know, I got way too much going on. I want way too many cars and not enough money, time, or space. Your late 60s are special cars. Yeah, they are. I fixing on a garage. I can sing too. No one wants to hear it. Yeah, no one wants to hear me sing either. Give Jamie a break. He needs to vent. Yeah. Well, see, I'm on the talking side. He can comment. I can say whatever I want now. Hey, Mexican spec. Chris, what have you been doing? Hi, Rooster. Do you use U-Ship? I've never used U-Ship to ship a car. I've had a lot of problem with that. Yeah, Rooster's car was $1,300 for the shipping. That was a deal. Well, dude, I got a guy. Like he's really good, especially if they run and drive open transport. It's really cheap. When you have to do enclosed or they don't run, it gets a lot more expensive. If they have to winch it up, it gets really expensive. What's really complicated is if they don't run and you need enclosed. The 68 300L 4-speed convertible we brought out here and the V Code Sport Free GT both needed to come out enclosed. I was going to ship those things out in the open. It was really expensive. We had to wait a while for that. But if it runs and it's on open transport, it's really good. No, Mexican Spec. I use a guy. He's a broker out of Georgia. If you ever want his number, send me an email. Guy's name's Alan. He's really good. Although saying that, like the last 3 cars I've shipped with him have taken forever to ship. Usually he finds somebody within a week and it's shipped. But I think it's just a bad time of year. He was kind of telling me that all the snowbirds are bringing the cars up from Florida and Arizona right now. So like anything south and north is like almost impossible to find shipping right now. So hopefully the guy with the car I'm trying to bring back up here is getting a little impatient, so hopefully it happens pretty soon. It's like driving Misfits, got the 65 Chrysler brakes done. Nice. Oh yeah, how's that thing going, by the way? How's the 65 LeBaron going? Hopefully get that thing together pretty soon. That thing's awesome. Stacy, hey everyone. Holy hell, I'm late. Yeah, you're really late, Stacy, but welcome aboard. Glad you're here. Gotta run, Brady. Yep, thanks for coming by. Is the Alabama car a runner? No, it's not. It does have a motor that turns over, but it has a very special motor on it. I'll give you a hint. It's very long intakes on it. That's all I'm gonna say. But no, it's not a runner. So I can vouch for Tom's shipping service, top notch. Yeah, luckily on driveway of Misfits car, that one ran, so it was pretty reasonable. And what was that to New York? It was only like 14 or 1500 bucks to New York. But again, a running driving car. It was also a LeBaron, so it wasn't quite as big as most of the big stuff I usually bring. So, um, good day, Mexi Brotherhood. Yeah, Houston, Galveston Bay Area. The salt in the air is worse than salt on the roads. And yeah, the humidity and salt down there is really bad. I've seen some bad cars come out of Houston. Western Texas is a little bit different, but Hot Shoe, I saw Warlock here in Oklahoma City last week. Yeah, it's Low Red Express and Warlock. I have like a Mopar bucket list of cars I've never had, and there really isn't much left on it. But I've never had a Low Red Express. I've never had a Warlock. I will own both before I die. But I'm also extremely cheap. I want a project. I don't want anything like super nice because I can't afford it. Snowmunk X. What? Tom's on. I wish I'd turned in earlier. Hey, yeah, well, welcome, Snow. Yep. So Jamie's on vacation this week, so I'm filling in for him this week. I mean, it's on my channel, but I'm basically filling in for this week. Mrs. Mexbeck and I are headed to Mexico City again on Wednesday night. Buyers flying in to look and buy a black Dart GTX. Cool. Fix a garage. I did runners and closed. High end cars shipped for $2K a piece. Phoenix to San Francisco. It cost you $2,000 to go from Phoenix to San Francisco, dude. Let me contact my guy. It would have been half that much. I'll give you a great example. So my 70 V Code 6-barrel Roadrunner was in the barn finds in McCacken 2 years ago, and I got a quote from Reliable to ship to McCacken and back, and it was, I think it was $7,000 round trip to get that car to Chicago and back. And I was like, that ain't happening. So I have a buddy in Illinois, really close to where the show is. I shipped it to him. It was, I think, 1,500 out open, and then it was like 1,800 back enclosed. And my buddy brought the show back. I had to buy him a couple beers for doing that for me. But yeah, it saved me like half as much using my guy versus using the big guys. So there you go. As I said, if you guys need any shipping, I got a guy. He can hook you up. I mean, he's just a broker. He doesn't do the actual shipping, but he does really, really good work. So I've never had a problem with him. Rooster shipped a car. Driveway Misfits had a car shipped for him. He's really, really good. So Rooster's still trying to buy more stuff. He probably trying to publish that for guy and for anybody. So it got back to me. Yeah. 89, I bought a 69 Roadrunner, 383 F5, buckets on console, training gauges on the fenders, reflective stripe, Picebook rally wheels. Yeah, that's a cool car. We did a 69 Roadrunner 812 car, and really cool car. It was F8 green, which I know green, nobody likes green. But that car had like all this metallic in it and had the reflective side stripe. At night, that thing glowed. It was great. Like you put like a light on it, all the metallic came out of the paint, the gold metallic and and the white stripe on the side. Looked really, really good. It was nice. Didn't have a vinyl top on it. God, that was such a good looking car, but it looked better at night than it did during the day. The bar has been thoroughly cleaned, has new tires and front brakes. Nice. Brakes are always good. That car was so clean. If you guys don't know, Driveway Misfits bought the LeBaron that came out of that estate sale last summer with the Superbird and much of those other cars, and such a clean car. Like he brought it to New York. Like people don't even know what those look like back there. They're all rusted out. Yeah, shipping was 1,400. Yeah, it's across country, 3,000 miles away. Olympia, Washington to New York was $1,400. But again, running open trailer. And it depends on gas prices too, but gas is pretty low right now. So, but yeah, a running car cross country, 1,400 bucks. It really isn't that bad. And trust me, like you're never gonna find a LeBaron for what I paid him for back in New York in that kind of condition for that much money minus shipping. So, which cool car wish I had now? Yeah, definitely. Cars in Alabama generally rot from the top, from the bottom. I don't know. I bought this car sight unseen. Hopefully it's okay. It's a pretty neat car. I got a bunch of pictures. It was garaged at least. It actually came out of Florida. I think it was near the Pensacola area, but it was inside. So just crossing my fingers, it's not a complete rust bucket, but for what I paid for it, it should be fine. Has a lot of documentation with it. DG or not, I quite enjoy all the Rocket Resto vids. It was informative. Yeah, thanks. Jamie tends to be more the mechanical side. I tend to be more the number side. But we do lots of fun stuff too. I got lots of videos coming up this summer. I got a couple road trips planned, so do a couple more junkyard crawls. I'm actually probably gonna go to Wildcat this week, which I've never actually done a video from Wildcat before, so I may do a video up there because I think people really enjoy that. I kind of have a unique perspective. I'm really good friends with Ed, the owner, and Vanessa, who, well, she used to work there, but she might be up there this weekend too. So this week, I bought went back down to that super secret California wrecking yard. Got that Jeep you saw. I got that weird V-dub thing. I got another 74 Monaco CHP car. But unfortunately, somebody stole the axles out of it, so it has the rear end but no axles. But it's a 9 1/4. I don't have any parts for 9 1/4. If it was 8 3/4, no problem. But I have tons of axles here. But unfortunately, it's a 9 1/4, so I'm having to buy a whole rear end from Wildcat just to make it a roller. Because right now it's stuck on my trailer. I can't get it off. It's missing a front rotor, no rear axles. There's no way to get it off my trailer. We had to load it with a forklift at that wrecking yard, so I got to make it down there this week and get a rear end from them. Back in 2007 from California, Ohio, it was $550. Yeah, shipping was a lot cheaper back then. Diesel's gone up a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. My transport company in Mexico will ship a small car, 2,700 kilometers from Mexico City to Tijuana for 5,000 pesos 750. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, everything's a little cheaper in Mexico, but I know diesel's pretty expensive down there. Probably cost as much to get picked up the next day and had the other car back in 3 days. Type of car certainly padded the price. Bentley new vet and traded for Turbo S. Yeah, I mean that's part of it. You do pay for the convenience. My guy's a broker. He just has to find somebody else to do it. You know, I've been waiting 2 weeks to ship this car from Alabama, and I'm kind of stuck because it's like I'm not really sure, not really sure where to go. So, oops, I just lose the stream. Sorry, I got a text message I was trying to check, and that didn't work well. Sorry about that. I can't do that apparently. I'm off. I'm back. Hopefully, I'm back. Okay. A12 cars cooler than Hemi cars. I really like A12 cars, and a tuned A12 car will absolutely beat a Hemi car in a race. But the problem with A12 cars, we've had the privilege and the honor to work on several of them over the years. They all have 410 gears, and without overdrive, they're really hard to drive on a road trip. I mean, they are fun. Like from 0 to 60, those things fly. But like trying to go 70 down the freeway, they just rev really, really high. 27 Motors is drawn by John Voight, driving Memphis. That's cool. So 1,700 miles. Yeah, I mean 750 seems pretty cheap. I mean in the U.S. that's probably 1,000, 1,200 bucks. So that's not too bad. F8. Oh man, Lawrence, I like F8. I don't like F5. I don't like F3. Those are kind of the baby puke green. F8 with that really thick gold metallic in it. It's a good color. I like F8. I really do. Rooster, why aren't you blue here? He needs a mod. Why I don't have members, that's why. So we're not on Jamie's chat, we're on my channel. So people keep on asking me if I'm gonna do memberships. I don't think I'm a big enough channel to do that yet. Jamie also got like a huge incentive to do it from YouTube. I'm kind of hoping maybe they'll do that. But he got they gave him some incentives to do that. Yeah, I don't have memberships currently, but it's something I've been thinking about. I know just Mopar Joe just did it. I don't know how many he actually has. Obviously, Jamie's has been very successful. I appreciate all you guys being members of Jamie's channel and supporting him. You know, the help really helps him, you know, make ends meet and find cool projects for the channel. Okay. Where are we at? Okay, owned by Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld owned a lot of cars. Two pedestrian firm. Want to know where 7-figure Priest's Kramer using that show his original airbag car? Caprice. I know your opinions, but I was working on my 67 Charger today. Console was all cracked, so it's up to the full length. Much better. You know, I'm a little jaded on 66, 67 Chargers. I've worked on several of them. They're just hard to work on. They're cool cars. I like the styling. I will probably never own another one unless it's, although I just got offered two of them. So I may be buying two, but we'll see what happens with that. In fact, I need to follow up on that. I sent the guy an offer and he never got back to me. I need to follow up. I don't know if you guys remember that 57 Plymouth convertible I had. The guy has two 67, maybe 66 Chargers. I can't remember. One's actually a 4-speed car. So I may be putting words back in my mouth about Chargers, but I may be buying two of those. So pay the light bill, man. Yeah, basically. I just gotta. The problem is, Jamie does this on his computer. I do it on my phone, and I should do it on my computer, but I never actually use the webcam. I need to figure out how to do that. But I was trying to answer a text message. Somebody was asking me if I'm live right now, and then when you check a text message, you go dark. So let's not do that. Yes, you're back. I won't poke your bag on that idea. Did you see Rick Bacon has a build molds for original style A12 with off hoods. Yeah, those are really cool hoods. I think that's really neat. I love the A12 design, the steel wheels with the hubcaps, the chrome lug nuts. We've done several of those. They're really cool cars. I really like those. Mexican members are a different thing. Mods are blue and can get rid of people in the chat. Yeah, I can. I think I can do mods in here too, but I just don't think that's necessary. Honestly, I'm not going to be doing a lot of solo lives. I don't want to compete with Jamie, and honestly, I don't. I don't really have. I don't really have the time to do a live every week. I'm trying to run like 5 different businesses at once. In fact, I'm a little. I'm usually a little overextended. I got dealer's license. I have the restoration shop. I have an eBay store. I've got new and used parts, and then I'm trying to manage a YouTube channel too. It's just it's a lot. You know, but I realize I really appreciate all you loyal guys who comment on my videos and watch on my videos. I really appreciate it. Like I couldn't be doing this without you guys. So I don't make a ton of money at this, but it's a little bit extra. That V Code Fury GT video it did very well last month for me. So what's the eBay store? It's Rocket Resto is my eBay name. We carry new and reproduction parts on eBay, and we've got a lot of stuff here too. But I have a lot of stuff on eBay. Usually when I'm on Jamie's chat, we post the link to that. I don't really actually. Let me see if I can just post the link. Hold on. I'll see if I can post a link to it. Usually when I'm on Jamie's chat, McLovin is the moderator and helps me out with that. Let's see if that works. Yeah, okay. There's the link to my eBay store. So yeah, appreciate you guys watching. I know first in chargers need more love, headlights, dash lights, fancier interior, all fixed on my 67. Yeah, you got with like, yeah, I've told this story a few times, but we had a 66 charge in the shop right now, and we fixed all the headlights, changed everything. Everything was new, monitor relays, all that stuff. And dude, the customer came in, headlights didn't work after doing all that work. For an entire week, every morning I came in, headlights on, headlights off. Every afternoon before I left, headlights on, headlights off. Comes back on Friday and they didn't work. And it was just like, yeah, it's just I have a love-hate relationship with those, since mostly hate. Hot Shoes. Galen's still around. Yeah, I actually saw him at McCacken this year. I didn't see him in a while. So I like Galen. I did a video. I kind of mentioned him in the video. He got a little mad at me about it. But I get along with Galen. In fact, I have a really good Galen story. I can't remember what year it was. 2004, I think. 2003, 2004. So I drove cross country to Carlisle. So my gold 72 Polaro, which I've done some videos on, that thing's my baby. That's the first car I ever restored. And Carlisle was doing a cop car reunion. So my brother and I just decided we were gonna go cross country, and we crossed the country. But what was really cool is my brother was pretty good friends with Galen at the time, because he was kind of running his own registry, just like Galen did. And we actually met up at Galen's house and road trip with him out to Carlisle. It was actually really fun. Got to hang out with him for a couple days. He's really a good dude. He just his customer service isn't great. So that's basically, I mean, that was always Galen's problem. He's very knowledgeable. He's a good dude to hang out with, but he just didn't get stuff done. And Dave Wise kind of came in, and Dave does a good job too. They're both very knowledgeable people. Dave is the authenticator at Barrett Jackson, and they're both still out there. But Galen obviously has a bit of a lesser profile than he did before. So, but Galen's a good dude. He's still around. He's still doing stuff. But he's just, you don't see him as many shows as you used to. So it'd be hard to be Tom's mod, Jamie's mod. I'm not picking between your best pals yet. So this is not going to be a regular weekly thing. So don't worry about it. And honestly, the kind of Lord of the Flies is I kind of like that, actually. Yeah, no, I'm yeah. Can isn't painted on small center. Yeah, can isn't painted. Small center is, and I think that was just because the can on the back is like huge on the oil pressure sending unit, and it would like leave a big shadow when it was painted. I think on the small one they just didn't bother. I think they just put a piece of tape over the center. We need to look a little closer and see what's left on there. I think they just put a piece of tape over the metal part there, so it'll actually ground and work. So yeah, my suspect if they don't have a live at the same time, it would work. If you have the time, maybe Jamie will take more vacations. Yeah. Jamie doesn't take very many vacations, but I know he's planning on a couple of really fun trips this summer that he's really looking forward to. I think he's going to go back to the Midwest to a couple shows, so he's looking forward to that. I'm not going to spoil that for him, but it's not definite. But he's talking about doing that, which would be pretty cool. He's got some fun stuff planned this summer, and I'm assuming he'll still do lives on the road. But yeah. Galen, Rooster Galen does sketchy stuff. He used to live 5 miles from me. I I don't think Galen really did sketchy stuff. I just think that he just was slow. He just didn't get back to people. He did a when I was still in high school, he did an appraisal on my 70 Charger, and it took 2 years to get it back. It's like, um, you just kind of have to follow through on stuff. So I'll just leave it at that. So, um, someone should do Mopar's After Dark live. Yeah, it's kind of is after dark for the East Coasters, going to almost 8. How does oil light sensors work? Is it simple on-off pressure switch? Well, there's two different senders, Snowmonk. So there's the big one, which is a can. I had 3 of them here for a while. I think I moved them. They're not here. So there's one that's a big can, and that's for the sending unit. That's for a gauge. So any rally dash, use that. Anything with the oil pressure gauge, use the big can. And that's an actual, it's for a gauge, so it's got a sender on it. It's mechanical. I mean, well, it's not mechanical, it's electrical, but the oil pressure goes up there as a gauge, tells you what it at. The small one is a idiot light, basically, so it's either on or off. So at a certain low pressure, the idiot light goes on the dash, and that's what it's for. So it's an electrical switch, but physical oil is going up in the back of it, to make it work. So it's not just a simple on and off pressure switch. The idiot light goes on at a certain pressure. I don't know what that is. The can's for a gauge, so it goes up and down with everything else, basically. So, um, when you have squirrel brain syndrome, taking vacations are hard to wrap around your head around. Yeah, and that's kind of Jamie. He's I don't know if he's got ADD or what, but like he's kind of all over the place. I have to kind of tell him a few times when he's in here. It's like there's sometimes we have jobs for him that he's really good at that he doesn't want to do, and I'm like, well, Jamie, you can't do the fun stuff every time when you're here. There's stuff I need you to do sometimes that you may not like, but I need you to do. Like, he's been doing our alignments in here, and he hates doing alignments. But it's like there's just certain times where it's like I just need him to do that, and he does usually. We used to have an alignment guy in town that did an okay job, but the problem with doing an alignment is you have to trailer the car there. Like the whole point after doing a front end, you don't want to drive a car 30 miles with the front end. I mean, we get it kind of close and put them together, but you got to have an alignment. That's what got my own alignment machine. But it's a pain in the butt. Like you got to put the car in the lift. You have to put spacers on the back. You have to put all the sensors on every wheel. It's a real pain to do it. It's a lot of work to do it correctly. And Jamie doesn't like doing them, but sometimes that's what you got to do. So it is what it is. So more person in the morning live. Yeah, I'm not a morning person. So live cams at various mobile restoration shops. Yeah, you wouldn't want a live cam here. It'd be boring. We started doing restorations in the late 80s. Prices were getting high, and we're getting cars from out of state, and it was just a hassle. Yeah, I mean, restoration work is not for the weak of heart. It's a lot of work. It's a ton of work. Just getting everything done and lined up is just a nightmare. It just takes forever. I know large can, which is for the pressure gauge, normally 20 psi OEM rate. Yeah, the light switch, if it just grounds out when it says below 20. Yeah, it's somewhere around that. I don't know what the numbers are, but I mean, if I were to guess, that's probably what I would guess, somewhere around there. It might actually be below 20 psi. It might be more closer to 10, but I don't know what that number is off the top of my head. Factory Fords in the 70s had oil pressure switches for idiot lights, tested so low, someone come out till 2, 3 psi. Yeah, I would hope your idiot light comes on above 2 to 3 psi, because that's not good. If you're down to 2 or 3 psi, you're probably gonna spin a bearing. Did anyone do alignment on anything past 90? Is like, yeah, pulling teeth. Yeah, most places don't want to do it. I've got a couple shops in the area that are willing to, but they don't like to. The other problem is like you get a car like the Daytona we're putting on. I mean, like the video I just did today with that front end. We have weeks into doing that front end, weeks, like getting all the plating right, get all that stuff. Well, the dude gets a freaking like pair of vice grips to move the tie rods to go in and out, and ruins all of our restoration work. That's a problem. You have to be super careful with that stuff, especially on a restored car like that. So I like having that in my own shop, so I don't have to worry about that. So I actually bought an alignment machine. It's not from a Mopar dealer up in Oak Harbor Garage. Actually, we bought it from those guys. So we do it in house. We do most of them. In fact, I needed the Superbird done too. So I got to take Jamie into doing that this week. Hopefully, he's not listening right now because he's probably going to refuse to do that. So. Is 20 psi oil pressure idle too low on a 383? I mean, that's kind of at the minimum. The general rule is you want about 10 psi per 1,000 RPM. 20 is on the low end of what you want to see. So, I mean, I'm not saying you're going to blow your motor at that, but like that's not a high number. The other thing I'll say too is like make sure whatever gauge you have is good. If it's the factory oil pressure gauge, I wouldn't trust that. There's been a lot of times here in the shop where we'll have cars that read really low in the oil pressure gauge. I'll put a mechanical gauge on it because I just want to make sure it's correct, like a gauge that you know is correct. So I would just make sure that reading's correct before you do any major work on it. MD, trying to read through parts books to find the right items gives me squirrel brains. I'd rather do calculus. Yeah, it's a different language in those books, and I've spent a lot of time going through them. I'm getting pretty good at going through parts books now, but it's yeah, it's tough. I really like the parts books, the exploded parts diagrams, especially when you're trying to put like windows together or something. Those diagrams are really handy. Of course, the factory service manuals are good too. I know everybody says, "Oh, just use the Chiltons." Like, there's no information in those. Get a factory service manual. They're not that expensive. Reproductions are available. I've got originals of all of them. Like, it's totally worth having that. It really helps. Lawrence Taft, is there any way to tell what dealer originally sold your car? Well, that is a very loaded question. 67 and before, yes, Chrysler has the paperwork. So if you have a VIN for any 67 and before car, you can send off to Chrysler with your VIN, proof of ownership, and you get the IBM card, and I can tell you what dealer it came from. Very cool. 68 before, no, there really isn't a good way to do that. Unless you have original dealer paperwork, unless you have a window sticker, unless you have the owner's manual with the original deal selling dealer on it. Some of the earlier cars have a little tag on it with like maintenance schedule with the dealer number on it. I actually have a list of all the dealers and dealer numbers. So if you have the dealer number for your car, I can look it up for you. Perfectly willing to help somebody out with that. But if you have like a 70 Barracuda with no paperwork, there's really no way to tell. I've done some research with the vehicle order number. Those are generally sent out in batches for regions. Like I have a friend of mine, Dan Pausch, very knowledgeable guy. I've done his auto ID, the decodes with the production numbers he does. He actually figured out where his Challenger was sold new. He has a 1970 Challenger RT 383 AC car with a factory TA hood. Yes, they made those. Very cool car. And there was another 70 Hemi Cuda with a factory TA hood that was sold new. We knew what the dealer was sold at, and it actually ended up he found out what dealer his was sold at because the Vaughn was like a couple off. So if you have enough numbers in a registry with vehicle order numbers, you can tell where they were sold new. But that is extremely rare to find that, and not a usual thing whatsoever. Pete Bezikos, Tom Fabo members have said that non-OEM sending units are inaccurate. What's your experience? Yeah, they're all bad. They're based off of Ford scale. So pretty much every aftermarket sending unit reads low. So everyone I've ever had either reads 3/4 to 0 or half to 0, somewhere around there. Saying that, so Vans Auto, which is where I buy most of my sending units from, supposedly has new sending units that are supposed to read correctly. So this is a 19. This is a B body sending unit right here. And I'm actually, Jamie volunteered with his red Charger, the corn dog Charger. He's going to bring that in once we have the lift open today and the weather's good. I'm going to put this in his car because his reads exactly the same. It reads low. I'm going to try this new sending unit from Vans. I'm going to do a video on it and we'll see if it works or not. I'm really curious to see what happens. So he's going to try to get the car down to a quarter tank for me. We're going to see if the sending units read weird. I'm going to do an ohm test on both of them. So supposedly, just on the B body ones, they fixed it. I'm really hoping I can do a video on this and get enough people to call Vans and be like, "Hey, get your act together and make sending units that actually read correctly." All these come from Taiwan. A lot of people say, "Oh, the sending unit's better from these guys. Sending's better." Guy. They all come from the same place. A factory in Taiwan makes all of these sending units. They all come from the same place. They all read low. They're all based on a Ford sending unit. Vans says that they have fixed it. And again, I'm just waiting for a break in the weather when Jamie can bring the Charger in and the lift's open for half a day, where I can get on the lift, do the sending unit, and do a video and a test on it. I'm really looking forward to doing that. But again, I can't give you a date on that because, well, it won't stop raining. So also my lift is full most of the way around, most of the time. Just take cash the tie rods and start getting alignment done sooner. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, Rooster, yeah, that's what I said. 10 pounds per 1,000 RPM. That's usually about right. So I think we're reading each other's minds. I just said the same thing. Hey, I just said that. Yeah. I hadn't read your comment, Rooster. To be fair, I had not read your comment. Mopar Historical continue if they are still around, that is. Yeah, Mopar Historical, it's only for 67 and before, though, unfortunately. They do not have the 68 and up records. There's a lot of controversy about that, who has what, but yeah, yeah, it's 67 and before is what they got. The gauges work on my 67 Charger, but a simple auxiliary oil pressure idiot light would be helpful and easy to find. Yeah, actually, when we had when we were doing 24 hours of lemons racing, we had a 67 Fury, and we actually blew the motor up at a race because one of our drivers was an idiot. Um, he we had, I think we had the wrong push rods in it, and we were at a 24-hour race at Portland PIR, and a push rod went through a rocker and the lifter popped out. So we had zero oil pressure, which would have been fine if he noticed. He did 3 laps with zero oil pressure because we had an idiot light on the dash, but it was like really small on that corner. So after that race, what we did is we put a trailer brake light right in front of the driver, in front of the steering wheel for the idiot light. And guess what? It never happened again. I was still pissed about that. He blew the car up 3 hours into a 24-hour race, and we blew up the motor. We had to go get another motor, put it in there. It was bad. It was not great. Yeah, Chilton says remove item, leaves out the 14 steps to remove said item, pony up for factory mail. Yeah, pony up for it. Yes, absolutely. FYI, the Beetle, the oil pressure switch goes off, pressure is lower than 6.4 psi. I mean, that seems reasonable to me where that's supposed to be, you know. Hachu Galen GTS is still working. He goes to Mechanic and some other show swap meets. He's in Wisconsin. Yeah, I think he's actually in Iowa now. He's moved a couple times, but he's still around. I know the IBM car for 67 Charger decoding that was quite different. Yeah, they used to decode those for you. They only give you the dealer now. Again, my buddy Dan Pausch can decode those. If you want his contact info, my information, somebody can contact me. But Dan can decode those for you. All right, I think I'm gonna get down to the end of the comments. Yeah, Gary, I don't know if I mentioned this for you. Vans has the. I'm talking to my brother on a chat rather than just texting him. Vans says they have the correct sending units now, so you should go buy one of the 3/8 ones, Gary, from Vans, or just remind me to do it because I get a big discount from them, and we'll see if we can fix that. But I'm gonna try it on Jamie's charger. But if your charger wants me in a video to fix that, Gary, let me know when you're down here this week. Remember, that usually comes down one day a week to help me work on stuff. Where do you send this stuff to Chrysler to find that info? And would that work with 2-ton trucks? I don't think they have the truck stuff up that much. I think truck stuff's like 56 and before. I think they have a different cutoff for trucks, but it's Chrysler Historical. If you go to the website, I have the lady's email address somewhere in my email. I don't have it handy right now, so I'd have to look that up. All right, it's 7:53. I'm going to sign off in a couple minutes here. I'm just going to finish going through the questions. I got to help put my son to bed. Yep. Threw a new tank on my charger, new sending unit reads like half cord. Yeah, I hoard sending units. I have like 3 boxes this big full of factory sending units that I hoard. I do not give them away. I keep them for my own stuff. I'll put them in customer cars, but I will not sell them because all the new sending units are terrible. I've never had a car with a linear gas gauge. Most of them are Mopars, even my current David Honda. Yeah, it's on there. Yeah, it's off. Yeah, we're gonna be going to Spring Fling this year in Van Nuys. It's first weekend of May, I think, in Van Nuys, California, LA area. Really good show. We'll be down there. Yep. Yeah, Mexican Spec. I'll be in Van Nuys. You gonna be down there? Hopefully, I meet you in person if you are. That's always a good show. I'm gonna bring some stuff down to sell. What motor was in it? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what car you're talking about there. I kind of lost track of everything. I have a impressive collection of old motors manuals. Never liked Chilton's much. I mean, they'll have different information. Like if you have a motors and a Chilton in a factory, like sometimes all 3 you can kind of piece together what you need to do. Sometimes you need that paint pen and write idiot on that one big brake light. Yeah. That guy never drove for us after that again, after he blew up the motor. It's like, come on, dude. Like, you have an oil pressure gauge right in front of you. You didn't notice it went to 0 for 3 laps. Yeah, the lifter popped out. We just lost all oil pressure and spun a bearing. It wasn't like horrible, you know, we saved the motor, but it freaking spun a bearing. It was terrible. I already made all Chilton's online manuals for you to remember, so that's kind of cool. Ozone sells Ford 5.0 sending units that read backwards. Peg the gauge to 0. That's awesome. Then you aren't going to be that far from the Arizona border to pick up the carryall you're going to buy for me. Good deal. Probably as I'm bringing down my enclosed trailer. I don't know if I can get a carryall on my enclosed trailer. Also, I'm supposed to be bringing back another kind of cool car that I'm going to help a buddy sell. I'm trying to talk him into let me help him sell it. So you got to go to Mexico to meet the spec. He's not into tourism. I was just in Ensenada last week. It's not really Mexico, though. It's kind of San Diego South. Yeah, I blew up plenty of Lemons cars. So that's kind of the point of Lemons. We blew up a few motors doing that. I also totaled the Fury, but that's a whole nother story. I have to run, guys. Take care. Tom, call me next week on the free reports. Yeah, dude, Rooster, I've been so busy. I haven't had a chance to even do that. I know I got that switch for you. I didn't do that. Yeah, I got to go here in a minute too. Mexican spec. Yeah. This live is awesome. Hopefully you get time. Yeah, this is Tom. BK14 NYC. This is Tom. Yeah, I'm sure all of you have subscribed to my channel, but make sure you like. Yeah, do you guys hit the like button tonight? I forgot to remind everybody. Hopefully everybody hit the like button tonight. Ensenada is in Mexico. The residents look like San Diego South to me. I think Tijuana's Mexico. Ensenada's still San Diego. But yeah. Yeah, the custom lines. Well, I think if I buy a car from Mexican spec, they'll probably get that across the border for me. So all right, I got the last comment. Thanks everybody. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all the love, guys. I'm glad everybody's on here. I think we're up to 110, 115 at one point. I think that's a pretty good number for this. I appreciate it. Still 93 people watching. It's pretty awesome. I said I gotta put my kid to bed at 7:56. I'm kind of surprised I made it this long. So again, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for watching my channel. Really appreciate everybody watching this. I don't know if I'm gonna have a V code Fury GT video next weekend. I'm probably gonna do one on the Superbird. I may do one on that Jeep pickup too. See if we can get the gas tank done. We'll see what the weather is this week too. It's been just awful. I'm really hoping to put some miles on the Superbird this week just so I can drive it around with the other plates, but we'll see. So all right guys, thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna sign off. We'll talk to y'all soon.